Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the stream. How are we all doing out there today? Hopefully you're doing well. You've made it midweek point in the week. You've got there, guys, halfway through. Just the other half to do now for the weekend. Hopefully the week's been treating you good as well, guys. Hopefully you're having a great day. Also, guys, if you are watching on YouTube as well, be sure to drop a like on the stream. It's very much appreciated. It helps out a lot as well. Quick little plug also. Pinned comments on both the YouTube chat and the Twitch chat, guys, is the latest video that I uploaded earlier on today. If you want to check that out, you're more than welcome to. Let me know what you think. Drop a like, all that good stuff. It's appreciated. But yeah, welcome to the stream, guys. Good to see ya. We are going to be checking out some videos, and then we're going to play some PGR, and then if we get time as well, we're going to play some Zenless. But if we don't get time in this stream, I do plan to double dip tonight, so we'll play PGR later. That's the plan anyway. Welcome to the stream, Jamie. What's going on, Equinox? How's it going? Welcome, welcome. Hopefully you're doing well. All right, should we get this thing started, man? Let's do it, man. Let's do it. Let's get going. How's it going, guys? Hold on a second. We'll just get it OBS up on my gaming PC so you guys can actually see stuff when we get it on. Yeah, welcome. Shout out everybody who's checked out the video. Actually, the video upload is doing all right. That one is actually so far. So appreciate you. Should check out alpha.exe by Kiri one day. Let me have a look for that, actually. I'm down. Is Alpha Crimson Weave.exe? Oh no, that's Swain. No, I might check that out though as well. Okay, I think I found the channel. Is it Kiriteru? I think this is the channel, yeah. Yinlin.exe, Wuthering Waves. I did some .exe videos myself back in the day for Valorant, actually. I'll drop a sub. Maybe check it out at some point. Yeah, it's good to see you guys. Tagging these caps, man, loves to drop down. And I noticed it yesterday when I made my videos, like the tags hanging out, my cap looked like a twat. But how's everybody doing anyway though, man? We all good? We all good? Oh, I'm ready for this weekend this week, I'm telling you. I am ready. Just waiting on to get some vitamin B12 tablets as well now. Apparently I've got low vitamin B12. Well, I've had it before. I have to have injections. I've noticed it though, man, because I've been getting super tired recently. And my memory's terrible, apparently. Low vitamin B12 can cause that. So, you know. Gotta get on the supplements, boys. You've got to get on the supplements. I don't know if I've just got an issue with absorbing it, because like I eat plenty of meat, and that's where you get a lot of it from. Yeah, shout out to you lot, guys. Welcome, welcome. Alright, then should we get into checking out some videos and then hop straight into it, shall we? We got a State of Wuthering Waves right now on this review. We got some more Wuthering Waves mods. Shorekeeper Hot Pink Summer mod. Honkai back third with the Honkai Star Rail crossover concept trailer. We can check that out as well. I was wrong. This is a problem. Wuthering Waves. And I was going to check out a video from Gamba AJ as well, actually, where he was talking about the where's the drip marketing again. Because this is one thing I still think Kuro struggle with is marketing in general. I really do. The DMC, yes. I must admit, the updates that are coming to China soon look fire. I say, man, we're eating good in this space at the minute, you know. With it depends, obviously, what you like, but with ZZZ, with Woo-Wah, you know, if you're playing Star Rail, I'm not at the minute, but if you're playing, like, BGR as well, you know, we've got plenty of games coming soon also, you know. Girls Frontline 2, we're going to check that out. What else have we got? We've got, like, Azure Pamelia coming, Arknight's Enfield. Man, we are eating good. Oh, we have got some stuff that we might actually look into in a bit, actually. Is that Snowbreak apparently have, like, rolling back on some stuff. Yo, Neo, what's going on, bro? Welcome to the stream. Yes, I think I've saw a bit of Grey Raven Radio. Actually, Equinox is a great channel, actually. You know, obviously, we know that Snowbreak. It's very fan servicey. Anybody who's seen a little bit of Snowbreak knows it's a little bit on the wild side, right? Apparently, I don't know how true this is. I was just looking at the Twitter. I think for people who've purchased like certain skins, I think they're going to be getting refunds. I don't know exactly what the deal is. You might need to look into it. So basically, let me bring it over here. You guys can't see it, but where is he? An hour ago, adjustment additional notice. Let me pause this music a second. You know what? Let me bring it over so you guys can actually see what I'm talking about here. You can see what I'm talking about. Okay. All right. This is from Snowbreak's Twitter, official Twitter. So, you know, it's legit. It's no BS. Hey, Ronin, welcome to the stream. Did you see the Bernice video song? I don't know. I did. I was watching one earlier of a cosplay. It was a pretty good Bernice cosplay that we could check out in a little bit, actually. But if you meant the trailer, yeah. It's a bop, actually. A bop. All right, let's have a look at this here. Snowbreak Containment Zone, October 30th, adjustment additional notice. Hello, adjutants. Here are the detailed adjustment plan mentioned in October 30th adjustment notice. Bitgold refund. So all purchases made as of 2024, 10/30th, right? From 12 UTC, whatever. For the listed outfits and interactable scenes will be fully refunded in Bitgold. No refunds will be issued for purchases made after that time. Okay, so we've got a bunch of the different skins here. The Sizzling Holiday one, the Wavecrest Glimmer, Surfside Leisure, Sea Cove Serenity, Tidal Whispers, Radiant Sunkies for all these different characters, right? So I think these were some of the ones that were a little bit like, I will say degenerate, right? Okay. Interactable scenes, Katya Dawning's exclusive interactable scene, Sea of Allure, Riptide's exclusive interactable scene, Night of Desire. This was a new character that we got as a free character, actually. So these are the little scenes where you can like interact with your waifus in ways, okay? I think you can gather. Nothing like freaky, well, a little bit freaky, but so basically it seems like a lot of these outfits are getting pulled and you're getting refunded, which is not great really when you think about it, because they've lent into this fan servicey kind of route and then they're kind of yanking the chain on people, which I don't like that. Like, I'm not one for like super fan service type stuff myself personally. I'd rather just like create good content and I'll purchase stuff, I will. But you know, some people doing it. At the end of the day, if you've bought it, it's like pulling on a banner and then post banner the character getting nerfed into the ground is, and it's not a good look. And it's gonna, in a game like this, it's definitely gonna leave a bad taste in people's mouth in regard to wanting to spend in the future. Especially with a game like Snowbreak it's not, you know, setting the world alight in terms of revenue. It's doing well, and it's doing a lot better than what it was. Definitely, it has been doing well, but it's been doing well, as I say, I think. One, content has been decent, and they have been working hard on stuff, but they have been doing a lot of fan service type stuff. So this feels like this might be a really, really bad move. So I don't know if this is to do with CN or what. It's a censorship side of thing. Well, it's definitely, I think it is a censorship thing in regards to they want to roll back on some of the ways that the decisions they've made. Now, I don't know if this that they see that they're starting to bring in more money now from China, and they'll kind of want to lean away from what they were doing prior. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, it's not a great look. So they're doing like obviously some rewards, some giveaways, all this sort of stuff, as I guess as a, you know, as a sorry, we're sorry. So yeah, you're just getting a bunch of these, but in order to ensure the Snowbreak experience on both the Chinese mainland and global servers is the same, these changes will take effect on all servers. So it seems like just from that statement alone, obviously I can't be concrete on this, but we've heard some issues with Snowbreak in China anyway, in regards to, you know, some of the stuff with the voice actors and all this sort of stuff. They've been having issues getting VAs to come back in, and I don't think the industry has been liking the way that Snowbreak has been going. But that being said, it seems like they're caving here, which, again, I can understand a company trying to keep afloat, but it's just not a great look, is it, when you've done all this? So, and it sucks that it's going to affect global as well. So it's not only affecting China, they're allowing it to affect the rest of the world also, which is, it's never great, is it really, when a company might have, I don't know, let's just say brick walls to get through, ring fences to deal with in a certain region, and everybody has to deal with it because of that region. It's a shame. I guess the reason why they're probably going to do that is because maybe then the Chinese market would be angry that they're not getting access to the things that Global's getting access to, which would maybe make them spend less. Because this is probably not a player base experience issue. This is probably them trying to stay in tow with. I don't know whether it's a governmental, regulatory thing. I don't know if it's them just trying to appease the market. It's, because it seems like they were having a lot of issues. They were catching strays left, right, and center. It feels like from other publishers, developers, voice actors, people within the industry. It felt like. So I don't want to say for a fact what any of this is, but it's not a great look. It's really not a great look. So it seems like they've caved a little bit on some stuff that's going on. I don't know exactly what and why. But I'll keep you guys updated on this. I'm going to have a little look into it and see what's been going on, because I think this sort of stuff's interesting personally for me. It might not be for everybody, but, if you play this game, it definitely affects you. And if you spent money on this game, it definitely affects you. This is why you should always, doesn't matter the game, always be careful about what you're spending your cash on, Always be careful and always treat it. In a video game, it's kind of like investing in like the crypto market. The way I look at it, when I dabble with stuff like that, I look at it and I'm like, right, I'm going to be sensible, and I have the idea of getting something back. But the way I look at it is that I've burnt that now, and that's how you should look at it when you're investing. Well, not investing, when you're purchasing in games. You should always be like, right, okay, I've got to accept that I'm pissing this money up the wall, basically, because you never know what can happen. And obviously, as I say, I don't know if this is a regulatory thing, a legal thing, or it's just to do with them trying to appease the rest of the industry. But with a country like China as well, with the stuff that's going on in the West at the minute, I'm not trying to throw shade at stuff that happens in China, but I just think that China can act so quick just because of the way the government's set up, that sometimes companies just have to deal with stuff overnight, where in the West, the wheels of government turn a lot slower, don't they? Not to say they don't turn in the negative directions that can happen elsewhere, but they just turn slower, don't they? So I think sometimes companies can just get rug pulled, and then that ends up meaning the consumer gets rug pulled as well. So you've always got to be careful where you spend your money as well. This is already the second wave of censorship after you said there won't be any other, and that Freesia skin that you were supposed to release to show your commitment never came. You guys can't be trusted anymore. See, it's not a good look. You will probably see a lot of this. Goodbye, and I don't need your refunds in Bitgold. I'm going to issue a refund through Steam. This is already the second wave of censorship after you said there won't be any other. Okay, I don't know if this is, just a copy and paste kind of thing. If you can't separate Global from CN, refund me. I bought it in the fan service. If it will be reduced, I want a refund. Time to uninstall. All that Bitgold refund is useless to me. Exactly. If you specifically been buying skins for fan service reasons, what do you want the Bitgold back? You're going to want cash, really, aren't you? So I can buy skins that I don't care about. If you're looking to buy booba skins and they're taking your booba skin away and then they're giving you currency back to buy non-booba skins, you're going to be a bit gutted, aren't you? You can say what you like about fan service stuff, but if that's what you were spending your cash on, it's going to be a kick in the teeth, isn't it, really? So, it seems same sort of sentiment. Why does it have to happen for Global as well? For those curious, multiple plus 16 CN games got hit by a sudden hotfix censoring their artwork and models. It's not on CSUN's site. Okay, so this looks like potentially regulatory stuff then. Obviously, we don't know if this is true. I've seen some KR posts listing Crosscore, Starwood, PTN, and Snowbreakers being hit by the wave. Somehow, Love and Deep Space is not there. Neither is Girls Frontline, despite how they're ramping up. Weird all around. See, I don't know if it's, I don't know. It's hard to say. We'd have to see the reasons behind it. But I just thought I'd bring this to your attention. I think it's kind of interesting. We won't scroll down too far, just in case. Twitter's a Wild West sometimes. It's a dangerous place for streamers. You could be there just like, la, 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 la. It's all nice. Everything's all daisy. And then, boom, big vagina on the screen. So, got to be careful about that. That's why you shouldn't fall for the booba. Hey, what's going on, Heckle? Yeah, always spend responsibly. At the end of the day, you are pretty much buying JPEGs. They're not JPEGs, they're 3D, but you know what I mean. That's what you're doing, aren't you, really? Exactly. Spend responsibly. But yeah, I just thought I'd give you guys a little bit of info on that. It's interesting to see that they're going down the global route as well. Which kind of sucks, People in the West are having to, maybe it might be something retroactive, it'll change. I don't know if they'll be able to now. They're going to refund everybody. If they got hit quick like that, like I say, it might have acted that fast that they couldn't separate global from China, or they just don't want the headache. Maybe the regulation states that because it's in China, them distributing it globally as well affects them also. So they might just, it just might be a no-no for them. Which obviously, as I say, it's never good, is it really? You know, you never really want to see censorship in any form, really, unless it's something that's like criminal, you know, or it's, we know what I'm talking about. When it comes to like the booba and the waifus, there are adult waifus, then, you know, it's a shame, but it is what it is, I guess. It is what it is. No, keep scrolling down. No one is immune to the pair of booba. This wouldn't be an issue if this was a JP gacha. This is true. This is true. You know, as I say, like, the West is definitely not immune to this stuff either. Like, you know, I'm not even, like, going to call out the Chinese on this shit, because we've seen what's happened in the West. Maybe not necessarily a regulatory thing or a legal thing, but it's more of a cultural thing in the West, hasn't it, now, where devs just won't touch that shit with a barge pole because of the fear of, like, the backlash that potentially could happen, you know what I mean? So, yeah, so I guess it is what it is. Rip to all the people who spent on those skins, because at the end of the day as well, you ain't even getting your money back. You're just getting the currency back that, you know, you're probably not going to want to spend on other stuff, especially if you were buying fan service skins at the end of the day. You know, if it's one thing if you were just buying skins and there was something up with the skin and they just pulled the skin for whatever, I don't know, you know, but even then, still would suck, wouldn't it? Because you was like, well, I want that was the skin I wanted. You know, it's like buying a Jinsei skin and then Kuro pulling it and then being like, well, you can go buy the Yoo-Hoo skin. Like, oh, great, I guess I want to do that then, don't I? You know? Example, all talk, no evidence. What you on about there, AI? I don't know what you're on about, dude. Do not anger our CN overlords. I'll take away our gachas and leave us playing an AAA trash. Hey, that's what I'm saying, man. I ain't firing no shots, as I say, because, you know, the idea that this sort of stuff doesn't happen everywhere nowadays, you know what I mean? It's just, it is what it is, isn't it? Like, you just gotta hope it doesn't affect the things that you like, I guess. And if it does, that's when you gotta move your wallet, ain't you, really? And I guess just go elsewhere. Which skins was it? Let me just pull it back up. Where are we? So, I don't know how you pronounce this one. Moxia, Shadow Car, Sizzling Holiday, the Shenxing Ethereal Cloud, Katya's Dawnwing skin, Enya's Exuvius skin, Cherno's Enigma, Marion's Riptide, and then they've took away the interactable scenes for Katya and Marion as well. Cherno's outfit, so the interactable scene Night of Desire will be valued at its non-pre-sale price. 325. So they're getting a little bit extra back, I guess. I guess that's our way of hey, look, you know, if you paid a tenner for something, we'll give you £12.50 back. But it's not really £12.50 because, you know, it's like giving store credit. And well, we're giving you extra store credit. Well, you've got to spend it on us, like, but hey, come on, man. You know, we're doing you a favour. So yeah, yeah. Affecting a couple of skins actually by the looks of it, and then they're just giving some giveaways and rewards, I guess, as a worst sorry moment. Yeah, I just want to mention that actually because you know, caught my eye. Alright, should we watched a Gamba AJ video for a while, haven't we? It's been a hot minute since we've watched one of AJ's videos. Let's check it out then. Kuro, where is the drip market for Wuthering Waves? Hey, you know what? I've said this multiple times. Comment sections in videos. I think Kuro kind of suck at marketing. You know, perfect example for me. PGR. The marketing's been pretty poor for that game for quite a while now. And Kuro, they're doing better with Wuthering Waves. But I don't feel like necessarily Kuro themselves created a lot of the hype and the marketing. It was a community itself, because the game, the way it looked and what people thought of it. They're getting better, but I still think they've got a long way to go. But of course, budget comes into all that stuff in marketing. But you know, I think they could do a little bit better with what they got. But anyway, let's get into the video then, shall we?
Yo, YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy AJ here, back at it again with another video. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about something about Kuro Games has been doing. We're going to also talk about how the community's feeling about it right now. And the big question on everybody's minds, I guess, is, and even mine at this point, and it's not just me, I'll show you guys some of the comments I've been seeing on their latest post. This is Kuro's latest post, by the way. You guys don't have to read it, it's irrelevant. I want to show you guys the comments. And the main,
yeah, like, you know, these sort of posts, like, I guess in a way they're sort of like, I guess, a character building, almost lore building. And they're a cheap way to do it. These sort of posts don't really bother me that much, you know, where it's just like, you know, a character's out and then they put a post out of the character and they give it like a little quip talking about the character. Okay, cool. Not that interested, really. Or I understand why they do this sort of stuff, but I can understand people who are there frothing at the mouth waiting for, like, I don't know, 1.4 information, 2.0 information, and then they're like, hey, do you want to learn a little bit about Yoo-hoo? It's like, well, not really.
question, the main theme is, where is this drip marketing? And more so, I'm gonna get into why I feel like it's late. And another thing that is the only con, as much as I love Wuthering Waves and all its positive, this may be the only con with Wua.
See, like, again, I like AJ. It's not the only con with Wuthering Waves. Come on, let's be real. This is what I was saying a little bit. I feel like the CC's in the space. Now, I'm not saying that people have to agree with what I think, but I just feel like sometimes a little bit disingenuous. Like, we hear people talk about, well, I'm being critical in my videos about Wuthering Waves. It's like, well, you're not really, are you? You're kind of just, like, glazing a little bit less than last time. It's got other issues, but I just think this isn't so much Wuthering Waves. This is a Kuro problem, this is really, if you ask me.
Is their marketing team, or at least their marketing sides, because, you know, it's their decision as a company and all the devs and stuff when they release drip, but it's very inconsistent. But first and foremost, if you like the content on the channel.
One thing I will say, though, sorry to keep pausing, I will give Kuro a pass and give him a bit of credit. This is their first globally self-published game. I know with PGR, obviously it started in China, got, what, like a year and a half before it came to global, and then obviously to PC. But, like, this is their first, like, global launch, going out to everybody. I think they're still kind of, you know, learning the ropes, so to speak. It's got to be hard for a company, especially when maybe you're not from a Western audience as well, to try and create marketing for everybody. It's, you know, when you're probably specifically used to marketing within a specific region and then trying to globalize it as well. So I'll give them a little bit of credit in that regard, you know. But at the same time, this is why, I suppose it depends on budget, though. You'd probably hire marketing companies for this sort of stuff, and, you know, you subcontract that work out in a way, don't you?
Make sure you hit a like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for the support. We're trying to be the top Wuthering Waves creator. Without further ado, let's get into the video. So yeah, guys, so this is their latest post, and we're all expecting drip market.
Yeah, I agree, Neil.
And I was checking the days, and I think it's been like, what, 5 days since Xi'an has been out. Sometimes I believe they release it 2 days after, 3 days.
Like, what I will say as well, I think when it comes to the cons in regards to marketing for content creators, it's just they want them to put stuff out so they can make videos. That's all it is. At the end of the day, it's not that they genuinely think it's affecting their enjoyment of the game or the hype for the game. It's like, well, I want to make a video when you're not giving me content, and there's leakers out here making content, and I don't want to do leaks, and I can't do leaks. Give me some, you know what I mean?
Most times it's like 5, and I think we're around that mark, and there's still no drip marketing, and we're getting closer and closer to, you know what I mean? I think 2 weeks out from 1-4 Camilla,
it'll come
which
soon.
Is kind of weird.
I think it'll come within potentially this week, if not this week, next week. It usually seems to come around about the week and a half, 2 weeks, doesn't it, before we get this. Well, it seems to have been getting more towards that. Initially, it wasn't. Christ, look at when freaking Yinlin, was it Yinlin when she dropped? The trailer dropped as the banner went live, that sort of stuff. Like, you know, they've been getting better, but I think that's usually seems to be what they're going for from what I've noticed. That, like, week to 2 weeks sort of preemptive the content of them, like, releasing all the information, basically.
Weird that there's nothing to be heard of, there's nothing to be seen for the Wuthering Waves drip marketing. As you guys can see, I posted my post and I said again, and that's just how I feel right now, because it's been another couple of days since there's no drip marketing. Obviously you have the 2 cute ones, but then I want you guys to look down here. So obviously you see Cam, he's just putting the laughing and peace out. Then you guys see all these Wua's current state. This is not drip marketing. We're so done with the girl crying gif. Wuthering Waves, where is the
remember that big argument before? Is it a gif or a gif? I know that apparently the creator of it said it's a gif. It's a gif. What's her name now? I forgot her freaking name, man.
drip marketing? That's an ad. Drip when stop playing with me, bro, with a Kanye face. No 1.5 characters. Okay, we're not gonna go that far. It's just funny. This is not. I don't know what patch it's gonna be, guys, but there is no drip. Bro, one is drip. I thought it was drip market already.
I don't think we're going to get well, I don't know. I've heard people talking about it. I don't think we're going to get 2.0 drip marketing just yet. We'll probably get some patch updates. We'll probably get some dev notes pretty soon in regards to like the stuff that's coming in 1.4 in terms of quality of life, events, you know, that sort of stuff. And obviously the banner stuff as well. We'll get like, you know, and the weapons, you know, the typical stuff that you get. And then we'll probably slowly start, because if they're smart, depending on how long it goes to go from 1.4 to 2.0, because apparently that's the way it's going to go. I don't know exactly how we're going to do things, but if that's the way it's going to be, and depending on the gap between it, they'll be smart to not like dump a bunch of info out right before 2.0. They should start actually drip marketing, you know, little teaser here, you know, not actually even, you know, specifically saying anything, just putting up a post on Twitter with an image, with a you know, a 10-second trailer, you know, something alluding to this, a little whisper of that, you know, over the coming weeks. So I think that will generate a decent amount of hype then. I know some content creators won't like that because they'll struggle to turn a 3 to 5 second clip into a 10-minute video, but I bet you they will.
You guys,
hey, you know, I turn a 5-minute reaction into a 30-minute video, so I can't speak.
What are you doing, Pookie? Delete this. And you guys kind of get the theme, kind of what's happening with Wuthering Waves right now. And I want to talk about this in depth with the community or any Wuthering Waves player right now who's
I think
watching
people just
this
expect
video, and I think
constant,
it's important for anybody to hear is the fact
like,
that
content
we right now are in a little bit of a weird spot with what we just got back-to-back. I would say 1.2 was a good sort of slow but filler patch that they did well, right? And to keep it interesting, 1.3 really delivered. 1.4 is very hype and anticipated. I think the issue that I keep having with Kuro is,
I think for me, 1.4 is more about Camellia than anything. Like, I guess we're getting a little bit, you know, we're probably going to get like a companion quest and that sort of stuff. But I'm not expecting anything major from 1.4, if I'm honest. I feel like 1.4 might potentially be kind of a bow on everything, a bit of a wrap up. We might get some sort of conclusions to certain things potentially. I don't know how they're going to do things. We might not. But it's not like we're getting a new area or anything like that, are we? You know what I mean? So, well, maybe we will. I don't know. They have spoke about a potential new area. So maybe we'll get something like that in 1.4. But I'm not expecting a major patch for me for 1.4. I don't really expect it, if I'm honest. You know, we've had two sub areas to the main area. I think we're kind of in like the waiting room now to the next big arc in the game, in my opinion.
Not with the game itself, but more so with the marketing side of maintaining.
What's going on, Siberia? I feel like we was going too quick with the story. Thoughts? Potentially, I think for me the story felt a bit rushed in 1.3. I am happy, and I feel like it would be a little bit more impactful. You know, when we get a patch like 1.3 that we didn't necessarily need to get the conclusion to the shorekeeper story in that patch. I would happily wait for some stuff to be concluded like a patch or two later. So it's like, oh, what's going on there? And you don't necessarily find out straight away, and it just makes it a little bit more impactful. And again, I've said multiple times, I want to see a little bit less focus on Rover. I want to see the rest of the roster and stuff get a little bit more of the limelight. And that's a good way to slow it down. You can have some little side stuff where a potential patch is less about Rover's story and more about this group of characters' story together. And then maybe them seeing Rover doing stuff from a third-person perspective, potentially. You know what I mean?
That hype. I think one of the reasons why this drip marketing isn't out just yet, guys, and they posted this picture right here, is because of the fact we have to take into mind it may be like, is Kuro making a decision? Is this drip marketing going to be big? That's the main thing I keep thinking is, I think this upcoming drip marketing is going to be big, and I don't think it's going to be 1 5-star. Something in my gut kind of tells me right now with how late the drip marketing is, I think something big is coming because of 2 reasons. One, I just don't think that even for Kuro, like them being as spontaneous as they have been with their posts for revealing characters and drip marketing and that not being set, it's definitely one of those things where that could be it. But also it's like they're coming off the hype of Shorekeeper, Camilla, and they need to sell units to everybody, right? And we've gotten 1 5-star and 4-star. I don't think we're gonna get another new 4-star because I don't think everybody has copies of the current Yoo-Hoo at 6, and I don't think everybody will have Lumi at 6 unless you're really wailing for the Camilla banner or you get really lucky. This next drip market could have 4 stars. Those 2 new 4 stars potentially has already reruns on that banner. And then there's the whole rerun thing. You know what I mean? And this is what I want to talk to you guys about, is that
I don't know. It depends what 2.0 is going to be. For me, I feel like if we're going from 1.4 to 2.0, it's 2.0. I feel like it needs to be, you know, characters, 4 stars, 5 stars. You know, we're going into a new arc, really. 2.0 should be the beginning of the next arc of the major part of the story, I guess, or the build up to it, you know, potentially the new area and all that sort of stuff. I don't know. I think sometimes as well we get a little bit carried away thinking, well, it's going to be big. I don't think 1.4 is going to be that big, if I'm honest. I think 1.3 was that big patch, and I feel like 1.4 will be just like a little addition to 1.3, if I'm honest.
If Kuro Games already started the rerun,
if we get a live stream, then maybe not.
Drop 2 5 stars and a Yinland rerun, it would be one of the craziest patches like ever in Wuthering Waves in a while, because there's a lot of people who were new, who hadn't gotten Yinland. There's a lot of people who are going for String Master. So
yeah, I think we're going to get reruns for a bit, to be fair, because you know, when there was these talks in some of the leaks of a change coming to the gacha, I think potentially what that might be in the future, because a lot of gacha games tend to have 5 stars, new 5 stars back to back, don't they? At the minute, we don't have that in Wuthering Waves. You know, we've got like a new 5-star rerun, new 5-star rerun. That I feel like that's going to be the time just to slow that content down potentially, give them chance to concentrate on the other side of things. That's what I think anyway. And then I think that change to the gacha will potentially be back-to-back new 5 stars into the future. Hey, I could be wrong, but I feel like that's what might happen. Or we could just have this rerun that, like, that's how the game goes. New one, older character, new one, older character, until we cycle round continuously. And we get to a point where then maybe we go into double back-to-back new characters. I'm not too sure. I feel like the reruns at the minute for me are kind of like Kuro allowing themselves a little buffer to catch up on other stuff, because we've got to remember as well, they pushed content forward, didn't they, because of Zenless on Zero. So I think that's what's happening in regards to reruns and potential. It just knocking all the marketing out of whack as well.
Something in my gut tells me that the next strip market may be a huge patch. Now the question is, if it's a single character, and this is where the issue comes in, right, guys? Doing a single character right now on the tail end of basically Camilla right now, after there's a lot of people who didn't even want Shorekeeper. Not a lot of people, I want to say some. Let me clarify that. There were some people who were saving just purely for Camilla, who played the story, then ended up pulling for Shorekeeper, you know what I mean? And they were light spenders and stuff like that. There was a lot of events to compensate us with Astrite. Now we're looking forward to Camilla. So if they don't release another banger character now, right, then this post right here, you know, for some players, it could feel like Wuthering Waves is in that state where there's not an exciting character coming out. So if they do one character, guys, they really got to nail it out the park with her design first and foremost, because that's what people are going to be looking at.
I think we've got a new character coming after Camilla. Yeah, I do. Unless 2.0 drops with a back-to-back rerun just for potentially maybe a PlayStation 5 launch is happening then, and they do that to help people catch up a little bit. I don't know. They might change things up for the PS5 launch. You know, they might do something just specific for PlayStation 5 and it won't affect everybody else. I'm not too sure. But yeah, I feel like we're going to be getting a new 5-star after Camilla. I do. From the stuff that we've heard prior to this anyway, which we won't get into.
And then we got to see, well, what weapon is she going to use? Obviously, we're not going to officially know until Kuro reveals that. But I'm hoping that we do get something. We hear rumors and stuff about something big coming, guys, and stuff like that. I'm not going to speak into that or anything like that. But what is your guys' honest thoughts right now? There's no drip marketing. I feel like there's nothing really to talk about the game. I also feel like if you guys have made it to this video, I've been forcing content a little bit, and I want to dial it back just because, like, there's not really much anymore to talk about with the game. They made good changes. We talked about that. We talked about how great 1.3 was. We talked about...
Wasn't Gamba making a podcast for this? You're running out of content already to talk about. This is the thing with gachas. This is why I think it's a little bit hard. Unless you're making like lore content, it's a little bit hard to specifically stick to one gacha. not all content, but you know, if you're just kind of yapping about it, I think it's hard because you're always going to have dry patches with a game, and you probably will end up forcing content. That's why I like to just react to a bunch of different stuff, if I'm honest, because if we was dry, hey, we'll talk about PGR, let's talk about Zenless, let's just react to some dumb videos, you know?
Current state, the events, all that other stuff. We made some fun videos along the line. But all in all, guys, I really do feel like this post right here, this desert, is kind of the current state of Wuthering Waves. But yeah, guys, my final thoughts on it are, I do believe we will get 2 5 stars. It's just my gut feeling. I think they're going to need to do something big, because I think it's too risky to do one character right now, and then the design just coming off of Camilla and Shorekeeper not nailing it, or if people are like, kind of like how some were with Jay-Z or Jaja.
I can make infinite PGR content because that's what I'm saying, not all content. If you like more yapping, like if you're a person that does like lore, I think there's a potential to do lots of more long form content as well on that. You know, there's always stuff to delve into and to talk over, to theory craft, you know what I mean? And if you're making like combat guides, character guides as well, I feel like you've got a lot more content there, because you can go over all the characters in the game, but there's always something to talk about in a different build, a different way to play, you know, synergies together, different tech, you know, new stuff that's coming out, you know, different content, using the characters on certain content. Yeah, I agree with that.
Not saying she is, because I pulled for her and she's an amazing character, but it could be one of those things where it's like, okay, you really need to go big for this upcoming patch after being on the tail end of Camilla. And honestly, push your hype.
Man, people are really oh yeah, dude, Twitter's a cesspit, bro. One limited character every update is good for free to play like me. Yeah, I agree. I think the system at the minute I'm not mad at, personally. I'm a light spender, and even I'm like, damn, I could do with a little gap between this banner and Camilla, if I'm honest. I genuinely could. I'd be like, do you want to bring the Yinling rerun forward? I'll take that. I'll be happy with that. So I feel you on that one.
Hype levels continue the hype for the game, man, because a lot of people have eyes on this game. A lot of people are coming back since 1.3, so continue the momentum. Let's see. I don't know, is it going to be, someone saying is it going to be 1.5, someone saying is it going to be 2.0. 2.0 would be crazy if that's true, but if it's 1.5, 2.0, I don't know. Just Kuro, please announce something. I think we're all hungry for it. Last thing I'll leave you off with before we end this video, post your comments down below. What do you guys think if they do review?
See, like, maybe I'm a little bit different. I want quality content, and I don't mind Kuro cooking a little bit longer on story stuff and even characters a little bit. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't want to be waiting large amounts of time for characters. You know, the system we've got now, I think, is more than adequate. I'm fine with it. You know, I wouldn't even mind sometimes some special things where they did double banners if it was just for an event or something special, and there was some free stuff given away as well, so it eased the burden a little bit on people. But yeah, I want them to cook a little bit on the story content, because I think we've got a really cool world, we've got a really cool cast of characters. I like what they're doing in the PGR story so far, and I want them to cook a little bit more in the story. I want less of the fawning over Rover. I want to build out this world. I want to build out the roster, slow things down. Let's hear some stories from some of the other people, because I feel like it'll just make the game, you know, more whole in itself. Because, you know, I know Rover's the protagonist, that's our journey. But, like, you know, we've got this cool world. For me, in a gacha game, sometimes the interpersonal relationships between different characters are more important than the overall story, because at the end of the day, the least interesting character in Wuthering Waves is the Rover, really. The plot device is more interesting than Rover themselves. All the other characters are way more interesting. Let me learn more about them. But yeah, like, for me, I want to see more stuff in regards to events, stuff that I'm actually doing in a minute-by-minute play, because at the end of the day, bits of story, getting story here, there, and everywhere, outside of major updates, it's only going to last so long, isn't it? You can't expect to be getting 50 hours worth of story every patch. So that's going to be something that's like short-lived, super high quality, enjoyable, but then like it's the events, you know, it's that end game stuff, it's that daily content that makes a difference, that's going to interest me and make me like, oh man, these events coming up look really cool. So like I will happily see the story content continue at the pace we're going, I guess, or maybe even slow down a little bit for more of the gameplay side of things personally.
Reveal drip market. Do you guys think it's gonna be one character, like 1 5-star, 1 4-star, or 2 5-stars? Yeah, guys, that's it for this video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's been your boy AJ. It's been another late night. I guess there's nothing. I will talk to y'all next.
Yeah, you know what? Hey, at the end of the day, I'm not disagreeing with Gamba because people perceive the game and want different things from the game at the end of the day. But I definitely do think a little bit with, and he's not alone because there's a bunch of people in this comment section here kind of saying the same sort of stuff as him. I guess maybe not this dude here and this dude here either. But, I think sometimes content creators don't look at it from a viewpoint of what's better for the game and what's better for the gamers. It's more like, well, I need information because I need to get a video out. You know, I've gone 2 or 3 days without a video. I'm having to make tier lists, or I'm having to kind of just make videos I don't necessarily want to make. I want to, you know, I want to generate hype off the information that you guys are giving out, and you're not giving it out. And I think sometimes that's when CC brain kicks in a little bit. I get it though, you know, as somebody who makes content, I'd love every day Wuthering Waves to be tweeting some crazy shit because I could get decent views, but it's just not going to happen, and it's not best for the game either, is it? But yeah, I think, I just think this is the state of things. This is how things go. We've had the main part 1.0. We've had 2 extra areas, map areas to the game. We're having a steady flow of events coming, whether they're the best or not, because, you know, my views on the events have been pretty mid. The last one, probably my favourite. So, you know, and I think Endgame definitely needs to work. But I'm confident that things will get better. And I feel like, you know, we've just got to let them adjust and settle. Whether people might have a different opinion, but like, nah, I'm out. And that's fair enough. But I can wait a little bit longer, I can. I'm not too frustrated at the minute. I'm definitely not too frustrated. Yeah, let him cook a little bit, right? Let him cook. Yeah, check this out, guys. You might hate me for this because the song's gonna get in your head again a little bit. But I actually thought this was a really good cosplay, actually. And you know, I like Bernice, and I kind of think the song's a bop, man. It gets in my head, you know. It's like one of those earworms. But yeah, check this out.
Good evening and welcome. I'm Bernice, and I'll be serving you today. What can I get for you? A drink?
One thing I'll say though, you know, when it comes to cosplays now, I don't like this style of makeup, and I know it's supposed to like make the eyes look a bit bigger, isn't it? I guess to look more like anime eyes. I think it looks a bit odd. I don't think it looks that great. Just do the normal eyes. You know, you're a human at the end of the day. I think that's what it's for anyway. I'm no makeup artist, but I'm guessing that's what it's for. But it always just looks a little odd to me.
Some snacks?
I know, just that's like the new trend in the
Mocktails exercise. The snacks are real nice. So
she needs a bot though.
sound mix dry. I'm lit, you can't
She does it good though. She does it good though, yeah?
Whatever you need. So could you never ever want to leave? Anything that you desire, set it on fire.
I don't know if creepy is the word I'd use, Neo. There's plenty of other descriptors I could give actually. Good cosplay, yeah. I gotta get my girlfriend into cosplaying. You know, the science. Hey, you know what? I think that was a really good cosplay. I don't know who this is. I'm assuming that's what they kind of do. Oh yeah, it looks like they do a bunch of cosplay actually. We might have to check out some of their other videos. That was a W though. Yeah. Okay. All right. The skirt is so crunchy. That was hopping on the heels, probably hurting. I don't know how girls wear heels in general. I just don't get it. You know what I mean? You see girls dancing in high heels and stuff and like doing normal daily stuff, and I'm like, bro, I couldn't do that. Just couldn't do it. Yeah, I just don't get the whole the eye makeup thing. It's not really for me, you know. They have to make 2.0 really be good because some people left because I feel... Yeah, I agree. 2.0, if it is going to be... I know people hate comparisons to Genshin, but I'm going to do it anyway, and I'll keep doing it because I think it's fair. We get the new nations in Genshin, right? I think it's safe to say that's probably the format we're going to follow. A new nation, and, you know, that furthers the story, so to speak. If 2.0 is going to be that, the map has to be... It has to feel different. It's got to be a decent scope, either the same size or larger potentially, or if it's a little bit smaller, maybe it's got some more levels to it, kind of like you know, how Mount Firmament had, and now the Black Shores has had as well, you know, where we actually can go down underground or something potentially. That'd be kind of cool, actually. But it needs to have that. It needs to have a lot of content as well. It needs to be content heavy, you know? And I'm okay with a lot of the content that we've got in terms of exploration coming over from 1.0. But I want some new stuff to do as well. I want something that feels a little bit different. Obviously, I want new echoes. I'm not asking for a multitude of echoes that's unreasonable, but I'd like a decent amount of new echoes, so I feel like I've got something new to farm, something that adds something different to the game in terms of the rosters and passive... active you know, echo buffs or actions or whatever you want to call it when you bring them out. You know, I want to feel like, you know, new characters, new culture, obviously a great story as well. They have got to cook with it. I feel if they flop that, they're going to be in a bad place. I don't think they will. I'm confident that they won't, but I think it's a big test. I've been saying this for a while. For me, you know, the new nation will be the biggest test for Kuro, because I think that's what everybody's expecting to be big. And if it's not, I think they're going to have a lot of questions to answer. You know, if you're not too keen on Mount Firmament or the Black Shores, in my eyes, the way I look at it, and I don't know if this is the way that they're going to do things, but it'd be kind of cool if we do get, like, start of the game, the original area. We've got this little sub-area in Mount Firmament, and then we've got this new little sub-area in the Black Shores. It's all kind of encapsulated in the initial story, so to speak, the 1.0 patch up to 2.0, if you will. And then 2.0 becomes the new nation, the new region, and then potentially we have little maps within that at a later date, coming at like 2.3, 2. Whatever, and then 3.0, you know, however they want to do it. I don't know exactly how they'll be doing things, you know, I don't know if that's how they'll work, that 2.0 will be new area, 3.0, 4.0, whatever. Whatever they do there, that needs to be the big marker that carries you on to those smaller updates, because I don't mind those smaller updates being a little bit of a stopgap if that's kind of how we know the game's going to go. And I guess we'll know that probably by the end of the 2.0 arc, I guess, won't we? When we get to that and be like, okay, it's safe to say then that this is how Kuro are doing things. And I'm okay with downtime on the game, because at the end of the day, I'll play other games. I think sometimes people get a little bit mad because they just want to play Wuthering Waves as their only game. And I can appreciate that. I can definitely appreciate that. But you're always going to come to a bit of a problem then, aren't you? That you're going to be lacking content here and there. If people demand more content, the quality is going to be cut. Yeah, definitely. There's a balance, isn't there? You know, there's a balance. You've got quality and you've got quantity. You can't really have both, especially not at Kuro size. They're not Huyo. They're not Activision. They're not this multi-billion-dollar corporation with 2,500 employees. I think there's 30 people working on Wuthering Waves. You know what I mean? It might have increased now, post-launch, potentially. But you can't expect, you know, they're not Harry Potter. They're not magic workers. So now I want to see Chang Li cosplay. Maybe have a look. Hey, hey, talking of cosplay, it's not really cosplay, but, you know, it's the real deal. It's the real girl. Another Woju mod showcase, guys. Like I said, if you want to see some cool mods for Wuthering Waves, this is your channel. There's probably others, but I've been watching some of his videos. The Shorekeeper Hot Pink Summer Woju mod, Wuthering Waves 1.3 mod. Should we check it out? I just like looking at these, even if I'm not necessarily into the mod itself. It just gives me an idea of cool little different things we could have for characters, you know, just in the hair, their eyes, different outfits for them. So I like to look at them. Let's check it out anyway. Man, her boobies definitely look bigger. The dude's going all out with his video, right? Definitely stepping the game up. So don't get me wrong. I wouldn't want to run around as Shorekeeper like that. I'm not mad at it, but it's not for me.
when it's wild and free. Ride the tide, yeah, ride the tide. Feel the power deep inside. When the waves get high, don't hide. You know you gotta ride the tide. Hey, hey.
Kind of like the idea of backpacks, though, depending on the characters. Obviously, it wouldn't work for certain characters because they'd be clipping and all that, but I kind of like the idea of backpacks, actually.
Hey, let's ride the tide. Hey, hey, don't run and hide. We're sure keep it here, side by side. Yeah, we're born to ride the tide.
It is nice, even though I don't think Wuthering Waves necessarily lacks a colour problem, but it's nice seeing some really vibrant stuff on the Wuthering Waves characters as well, actually.
I'm the lightning in the ocean, the spark in the wave. Every storm that's brewing, I'm the one who saves. Got the world at my feet, and the sea is my crown. I'm the one they call when the sun goes down.
I think the little carousel thing looks kind of good, actually. And the flowers in her hair. I will say, I'm not going to talk about it, but obviously, you know, with the ideas of, well, we've known this for a while, that potentially Jinsei and Sanhua are going to be the first characters to maybe get skins if they come to the game. Not saying they're coming to the game with Kuro Don't Sue Me, but I've seen an image of potentially the Dragon Girl, maybe not the Dragon Girl, but if it was, maybe that's who I'm talking about, skin. And it looks pretty dope, actually. Honestly, in a bit of it, but, you know, it looks kind of cool. Yeah, agreed. I don't want to see this sort of stuff in the game. Well, I wouldn't be against it because I wouldn't really... But, like, if I saw this sort of stuff in the game, I'm having it if there's a lot of skins and there's skins that make sense. And then these are just a bunch of extra, like, cheap ones that get thrown into, like, the Battle Pass or they're free here and there. And then if, I guess, people... You know, maybe they're playing co-op and they want to role play. I guess you could do that sort of stuff. Or it could be cool for videos. But yeah, I wouldn't be putting this on my character. You know what I mean? I want Jinsei looking like Noelle from Genshin. I want her wearing like battle armor. You know? I want a shield maiden kind of a skin for Jinsei.
It's wild and free. Ride the tide, yeah, ride the tide. Feel the power deep inside. When the waves get high, don't hide. You know you gotta ride the tide.
This one for Chang Li, though, I think it's good. Oh yeah, like I say, I'm not against it. I just personally, for me, I'm not interested in my characters necessarily looking like this. I'm not saying I wouldn't throw it on now and again, I guess, but I'm not that, like, I would rather Chang Li, like, wearing something that looks super, like, I don't know, a little bit more for a design, I guess. I can't really think off the top of my head what I'd want a Shorekeeper, sorry, looking like. But Chang Li in that, like, kind of, like, Valkyrie kind of outfit was pretty cool, actually. Like, it looks good, though. I'm not saying it doesn't look good. It's not personally my kind of vibe. Now, this here, the Chang Li behind me, that looks fire. I've already looked at that one, though. Yeah, man, you know, I'm here for the skin. Should we, check out that... Oh, actually, that video that just came up, actually. Let's check this video out. We've got another video we want to watch as well. The state of Wuthering Waves right now. Should we check that out? Look at PGR's swimsuits. I'll have a look in a minute. Kuro doesn't do simple skins. They go all out even in summer fits. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for.
I want to take a...
Yeah, I think we have watched a video from 1010 before. Alright. Sorry, is that a comment tickling me? Alright, let's check out this video from 1010 then, shall we, guys? The state of Wuthering Waves right now. Kind of a good video to watch off the back of that Gamba video in regards to the drip marketing. I know this is probably not talking about that, but just thought it's relevant. Check it out then, see what it's got to say.
I want to take a moment to talk about the state of Wuthering Waves with you today, because after 6 months off release, I think the game is not in a great state. Don't get me wrong, I love Wuthering Wave. I play this game daily, and I even stream this game almost regularly on Twitch, twitch.tv/IM1010. But I think the game is really good in its core. The characters are really, really fun. And
agree with all his points so far. I'll be interested to see why he thinks the game's not in a great state, though.
And when it comes down to gacha game, the main thing that you A for is to collect cool characters that are cool and fun, and they do this extremely well.
Yep.
It's just that
In my opinion, some of the best. I really like the characters in PGR though as well. I'll admit though, I think Ace has got some pretty cool looking characters, and I'm not saying that that Kuro's the only guys that do this, but I just personally, for me, I think they've got some really cool characters in the game. And please make Yarn a resonator Kuro. What are you waiting for, man? You will make bank with that.
they don't have anything else. I think Weather Wave characters are extremely fun. Each of them has some unique mechanics that make them super satisfying, super fun to watch, and they're all super flashy without being like overly on top too difficult and stuff like that. On top of that, their thematic is on point every single time. Jian is like a peak Husbando characters, Yin is like a peak Bambi characters, and then you got all the other characters like Changli, super fire characters like a Feed.
Hey, put some respect on Jinxi's name, man. Put some respect on Jinxi's name.
Stashing around the battlefield. You got Jinxi, who is completely lore accurate because she got the power of Jue on her side, and you summon this big ass lasers with Jue in your battle. I think these are super on point thematic, and they feel really great to play. But the problem is, I feel like the game just doesn't have enough content to warrant you to want to like log in to play the game.
Okay, yeah, I agree. I agree with this. I think some people in the community don't really like to hear this stuff sometimes, but I agree with this. But I think at the same time, I feel like we'll get to the point where it has enough content. And sometimes, you know, I get the comments of like, you know, let them cook, you know, but we are, what, 6 months post-launch now. I feel like we should be in a bit better of a position with the content. And for me, a massive part of that is I just think the Terror of Adversity is not it for endgame content. Because at the minute, it's kind of the main endgame, isn't it? I know you can say that you've got the holograms as well, but you're really just playing your own game then, aren't you? You're just like, well, let me solo them, let me change different teams, let me maybe nerf myself, and you set your own challenges, so to speak. The Terror of Adversity, obviously we've got the Elusive Realm, awesome, but that's not permanent. You know, I'd like to see more put into the Elusive Realm, if I'm honest, and that become a bit bigger of a part of the end game. But I feel like some stuff needs to be either added to the game or the Terror needs tweaking. Again, we saw with 1.3, Zenless Zone Zero is getting this mode where it's going to be like an infinite tower, where you just keep going, and certain phases you can re-heal your character, and then you keep going until you can heal your character again. I don't know if it is truly infinite or what. I'd like to see something like that personally. That's something I've been asking for a while. One thing I do like the new event that we've got, but I'd take, you know, the last little fight from the event when you've just got a timer. Not a timer that's counting down, well, what it is, but you've got like a set amount of time just to get as much points, basically. And it's more about you don't fail if you don't get something done within a certain time or defeat them. It's just kill as many mobs as you can and then how many points you get. Because I feel like that'd be good for, obviously, free-to-play players as well. But it'd be really good for Wales because they can, you know, maybe there'll be a leaderboard as well that resets on a weekly basis, and they can race against other Wales because they've got everybody S6 and they're doing insane damage. I do feel like we've got a content problem, and I think it's the end game mostly, and I think the events at the moment could definitely be better. I do feel like they could be better. I'm confident that they're going to get better. But yeah, I think the state we're in now, they could be better.
Which means you don't get to play with the characters. The characters are fun, but you gotta have a reason to play with these characters after all. And right now, the way I would describe it is like, Wedding Wave feels like a game where you have like a 6-week patch cycles, but 1 week of content every 6 weeks of patch cycle. This is super noticeable because at the end of the patch, they always just recycle the same event. Whether that be like the exploration event where you get like 100 survey point, or like the double drop event. Without fail, it's always just recycle event.
I do want to say something on the Infinite Battle Simulation as well. I do like the Infinite Battle Simulation. I still think it's the best event, but I think the second phase of the event is nowhere near as good as the first phase. I don't know if it's because the dash element that you get in that just kind of sucks. It's nowhere near as good as the plunge element that you got, which it's not always going to be as good as a particular part in that mode in regards to like the quirk, the gimmick of that particular. But I don't know if it was the layout of the area, but I just felt like I was like a little bit more lost. Like, oh, I need to make sure I'm covering. I've got all the chests. Where the other area, I think, because where it was a little bit more contained. It felt a little bit better. So, and they're not all going to be as good as each other, But yeah, I definitely thought the first phase was definitely better than the second phase in the Infinite Battle Simulation.
But every single patch where you just basically do the same thing as you're doing, but you get more material. Speaking of material, I feel like there isn't like a strong reason for you to acquire more material to develop your characters because the endgame is just so easy. I feel like the
compact. I mean, like, apart from the bit where you go up and out of the crater, everything feels like it's kind of, you can see everything. You know what I mean? Where like in the newer area, I felt like, I suppose it was more of a placebo effect because it's more open. I know you can't go to the areas, but because it's flatter, I felt like I was visually getting lost in looking for stuff, if that makes sense. I felt like I was finding myself being like, if I missed a chest, which I tend to do anyway because I don't really pay attention, but I just felt like that a little bit more. It didn't feel, I don't know, it just didn't feel as concise as the first phase.
The only reason to really acquire material is if you want to perfect your characters, max out absolutely every single thing because you really care about them, or to prepare for new characters release. Which, if you're a free-to-play, you probably won't get every characters anyway. The tower in Wedding Wave Endgame right now feels like a pure DPS check, and by pure DPS check, I mean you basically just go in and you do a rotation for like 2.
And I don't even mind a DPS check in a game like this, but I don't want that to be the entirety of the end game. You know what I mean? I want something that feels a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more. It's just, I think it's kind of a whack end game, if I'm honest. It really isn't all that. Like, the tower potentially would be better, like, now as we get further into the game. If it was more of a daily reset than a weekly reset, then it might be a bit more interesting. But even still, I don't find it enjoyable, if I'm honest.
2 minutes and you kill whatever come on the way, and that's it. You don't need to care about dodging, you don't care about parrying, which is supposed to be the core of the game. It isn't some kind of like skillful combat where you carefully maneuver your way around the enemy. There's like no dynamic at all. You just go in, you hit your button.
And as well, the whole idea of the tower was supposed to be this place where you go to train to improve, wasn't it? You know what I mean? It's like this physical spot in the world, but it doesn't feel like that at all. Like, the tower, like, they should build it out so it feels like kind of like an academy where you go to get better, where resonators go to train, and there's different elements to it that feels like a training session for resonators to improve, to get better, and different parts of it as well.
And they just die. And I did this by proving it as well, right? I recently did a blindfold run on Ling Gang where I was able to completely 3-star the 2 chamber in the middle, which have the level 100 enemies, and they're supposed to be the tankiest enemy of the tower. In my blindfold run, you can
see, like, I think I've got a different reason why I'm not keen on the tower, because sometimes I know people do like to flex a little bit like this. Well, I could do it with any character, I can do it blindfolded. Not everybody can, and that's not my problem with it. It's not that it's an easy mode or it's just purely a DPS check. I just think it's mid. You know what I mean? I just think it's mid in general. There's always going to be people who are really good at certain things in a game and are going to be able to clear content way easier, and their perception of the content is going to differ because of that. It's like, well, that's easy mode, bro. This ain't even a challenge. That might not be the same for other people who might really struggle on something. Or just don't have the time to pour into the game, but still want something where they get to come and do some sort of end-game content as well.
see I basically just memorized my entire rotation, and I basically just pressed all my button in a certain order, and then everything just worked out, and that's all really it. I didn't do a single dodge because I was
we need more mechanics to some of these end-game fights, don't we?
Parry. Well,
you know, like MMO type mechanics is what I'm talking about.
None of the parry were like a skillful timing thing. I basically just mashed all my button in the right order, which is my rotation.
I think Terra Fantasy do a good thing with that. I know that game's more than an MMO.
Got to a point
but,
where the tower feels more like a chore to clear every reset than a challenge. Especially because this is true for every single boss and every single enemy they have put in the tower so far. There hasn't been a new enemy where you have to change up your strategy. It's always you put the same team in, you click your button in the same order, and they die.
Yeah, I'll say my daily on
same thing. The Heron,
Genshin,
you always do the same.
and it takes so.
What's he doing here? I know he's showing off something in Genshin here, but like, I think he needs to sort the audio a little bit.
Oh, because
ever
you have to like
adopt
run
the
around
anime
and
pattern.
stuff.
You don't even need to.
Oh my god, I have the storm.
Oh, there's 2 conversations going on, bro. I can't hear you properly.
Click your button. And ironically speaking, I think Genshin Impact Endgame is actually harder. Now, I know people hate that I mention Genshin Impact all the time, but I think it's true. And I'm talking about this using my previous experience back in like 3.0 or something like that. I think back in my days when I was playing Genshin, the end games were actually a lot more challenging than the current state of Wedding Wave end game. Specifically, I remember there are stuff like where they're like 2 geovision, you have to like position yourself in a certain way so they will like come to you, and you have to like make sure they group, you have to like go to the wall, and you have to like make sure they are like walking in a certain way and stuff like that. And then of course Genshin Impact is a little more janky, so therefore it's like a more challenge.
I agree. I think it's the weakest part of this game. I think the end game in this game. And I think that's a big factor why people are drifting away from it, because at the end of the day, gacha game, it's about the waifus, and then it's about getting to that end game, isn't it? You know what I mean? Between your stories, because that's what's going to keep you there between the stories. It's the end game. It's events and end game, and we're lacking in those two massively in this game. That's the biggest factor. I think that's what it is. You know, you can argue about all different things, but I think if the events and end game was just substantially better, I think there'd be way less of these conversations going on in the Wuthering Waves community in regards to content and where the game is at now. And I need new stuff, give me new stuff, because you would be satiated for a little bit in between that sort of stuff, wouldn't you?
Because you got like funnel your energy, you gotta save your energy for the next one. And there's also the Abyss card system where it gives you a little more dynamic in Genshin Impact. Now, I want to make a very big disclaimer that I don't know if this is true with the current states of Genshin Impact. I kind of watch my friends play sometimes, and I see them just like hitting a thing that stay in the middle and like do nothing else, so maybe I'm wrong. But I actually have been recently playing a little bit of Genshin Impact just because one of my friends like got me back into it, and it has been really fun so far. And I'll be trying the new Abyss sometimes next week on stream, so you might want to tune in just to see like if my opinion change. Now, don't get me wrong, Wedding Wave do pump out banger content from time to time. Specifically, like when they added a new hologram Crowless was like perfect. I think hologram Crowless is like one of the best fight ever. It's like
that's one thing I will say. The one-on-one boss fights in Wuthering Waves are like top tier. You know, they're proper boss fights, especially the holograms as you go up the levels. You know, like 5 and 6 and 4. There's patterns. It's not about how powerful I am. You know what I mean? It's about skill check, basically. It's about your dodging, your parry capability, learning their new sequences and their attack patterns and stuff. And that was one of the really interesting things when you first got into Wuthering Waves. I want to see more of that stuff being brought to us. You know, now I know that's a little bit harder to do, but maybe just work on creating different patterns for certain bosses and bringing in new animations and attacks and stuff, and throwing that into some different content as well. And again, adding boss mechanics as well, I think could be interesting.
Actually dynamic, and it's like basically play to the game core essence, like dodging, parrying, and then doing your character's combo all in one and stuff like that. Inferno Rider was a little janky because they kind of just spam meteor.
Yeah.
But
it's level 6 Inferno Rider is just annoying. It's just straight just boo 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 boo. It's so annoying.
Something like that I feel like are cool. It's just like we kind of get them once in the blue moon. The same way in Elusive Realm, it's a really cool game mode whenever they add a new character.
Best game mode in the game, really.
You can play the new characters in your regular way, in your hologram and your tower, and then here is a new way to make them super insane that it's also fun to play. The Shangli Yao combo in the Elusive Realm was super fun. You like basically perma time stop and stuff like that. I think all of these are super fun and super cool to play whenever we do get them. Again, new characters, super fun to play because Wedding Wave characters are really well designed. They're just fun to play in general. Elusive Realm game mode or other game mode, super fun to play whenever we get a new one, usually followed by new characters. And of course, new hologram or new boss in general are super cool, super fun to figure out.
I'd like to hear that actually. What's people's general opinion of the Tower of Adversity? Other than like rewards, and I guess a way to like really get an idea of the sort of damage output you're getting off characters in terms of a DPS check, I suppose, and maybe flexing and a bit of bragging. Is the mode actually good? You know, do you feel like when there's a reset on the tower, you're like, oh, can't wait to play tower? Or is it just like, yes, I've got to clear tower kind of thing? Because I don't want my end game to be that. Now, I know it's always going to be that sometimes because at the end of the day, it's end game. And when you're playing this sort of game, you're always going to be in that point where you're like, well, I've got to clear this today to do this. It's, it's part of the chore. But for most of the time, it should be, can't wait to do this today. This will be fun. Oh, they've switched it up. This is going to be really enjoyable to do. I don't get that with the tower.
Like how they actually work. The thing is that it just there's so little. It always feels like they give you like a taste, they give you like a bite, right? And then they're like, oh, this feels good, this tastes good, I want more.
Snatch it away
but
from
there's
you.
no more. You always get like just a bite, and there's like no more, and it left you like undesired. And I feel like that's what's the problem is right now. It just feels so bad. I get that where the problem is because
it's like a la carte. That's what for me Wuthering Waves is. It's an a la carte menu. You know, it's this really good looking, pristine plate of food that's super tasty using some of the best ingredients, but you get 2 mouthfuls and it's gone. You know, because it's designed to be like 12 courses for each freaking plate. It's like, dude, what the, you know, normal person like me, you're like, wump, 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 oh, it's gone now. And then you're just like, I want more. You know what I mean? I feel that's exactly what Wuthering Waves is.
Kuro Games, unlike Hoyoverse, doesn't have the same amount of funding. In fact, they have significantly less funding, so they can't pump out content the same way like Genshin Impact are able to do it, right? And that's kind of one of the things that make Genshin shine right now, is because they have so much money, they're able to just dump into it and just pump content. When they do a 6-week patch cycles, I think they get like 4 weeks of content, right? And they're like actual content, not like the survey, not like the spinning hamsters, not like the double drop, right? I logged into Genshin just
like for me, that sort of stuff I don't class as content. You know, it's rewards. You know, things like, I guess you could call it content, but like, you know, the Lolo logistical, it's not really content, is it? You know, a double drop on a normal mode that you play anyway, it's not really content. It's an event, I guess you can say. You're getting extra stuff, but I wouldn't call it content. It's not like, whoa, that was cool. It's just like, hey, I got double drops, you know, great for building characters in the future.
Like recently, and then there was like this co-op event, which was actually surprisingly really fun. Now, I feel
this
like
is the sort of stuff I was talking about with Genshin, these sort of modes where it's a little bit abstract. You know, Star Rail does a good thing at this as well, and Zenless looks like it's doing it as well, where you're playing the game, but you're not playing the game in the way you usually play the game, i.e. beating up monsters. You're using your characters, but you're just doing something totally different, and it feels like a little fun party game mode that's sometimes really nice to be interjected in between the normal grind of combat, I think.
I
think Wuthering Waves is missing stuff like this massively.
And I was just like, oh, look, it's my Shangli again. Boom, 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 boom. So it was like fresh. It was like nostalgia feeling, so it was fun. But also I was like with my Genshin friends, so there's like that. Speaking of Genshin friends, I feel like that's another big one. There is no community content for Wedding Wave because the community is a lot smaller, where for Genshin Impact the community is significantly bigger, so like even when you're not playing the games, it feels like you can still interact with the Genshin Impact fandom. Also, again, Hoyoverse have way more funding to host these like offline event. There is like this Arvin that it's like an hour drive from me, and they host like a bunch of Hoyoverse event. I think recently for Halloween they have like a Hoyoween event. There's like a Madonna-led event for Genshin Impact, and these are cool to see. These are like, oh, I can still
can't really blame that on the game though, and I know he's not, but you know, we can't really be like, hey, there's not these local events going on. Well, that's the state of the game right now, you know. But I get what he's saying.
Enjoy the game in ways that I didn't expect outside of the game physically with other people. I think that's super cool to see. Something Wedding Wave probably won't see for a long time. Unfortunately, they don't even have the funding to come to like Anime Expo in America, so it's only like limited to China right now, and I feel like that's kind of sucks. Like an anime convention, you can see a lot more Genshin Impact cosplayers, well, just because the game is bigger, but that also means that you get to have more fun as a Genshin Impact player going around taking a photo of your favorite cosplay and stuff like that. Or even recently, I went to a shop in Los Angeles with one of my friends, and I was surrounded by Genshin Impact merch. Now, there was like a small section of official Wedding Wave merch, and we did buy some. I bought like a Ling Yang like standee, right? And my friend got like a little scar keychain. But the point is still like when we're walking through the stores, there's like so little Wedding Wave things that I'm like, oh look, this is Ling Yang, this is Jian. We're surrounded by so many like Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rails.
Again, I understand what he's saying, but this to me has got no relevance to the game itself. We can't, you know, it's just, you know, it's not really relevant, is it?
Merch and stuff like that, and you get like, Genshin.
I understand what he's saying in regards to the community vibe, but that's not the game itself.
Venti. And that's like just different, you know. Speaking of Venti, if you're wondering what this thing is, this is the VTuber that I'm currently working on. A lot of it's inspired by Venti. If you can kind of see the reassemblance, kind of why it's green. You can check out 210VT on Twitter for more
This is why I love the male characters in Wuthering Waves, you know? Because, like...
More detail as well as just follow it. But to basically summarize all my yapping, I feel like the game is just really dry, and that's really it. Now, I understand that it's not really Cruel Games' fault for, like, you know, not having the same amount of money and community as Hoyoverse, because that, like, just is so big in comparison, right? But as a player, it just left me, like, undecided when I get, like, a taste of the game that I want to play, and then there's, like, nothing left. Because, again, I do think the core game is great, right? Like, the characters are so fun. Maybe something like a boss rush hologram challenge would be cool, where you like fight one hologram after the other. That'll be like super difficult.
Well, we kind of had that with the simulacrum thing, and I don't think it was all that great. Like, for me, I feel like they need to really like lean into modes that are going to keep people on the game, and that's how this game is going to be successful in regards to that. It's not just about the culture drive of new characters. You know, we're going to sell merch. Everything's based around the next banner, which of course the next banner is important. But I feel like if you're attached to the brand, the IP, because it's so enjoyable across a bunch of different ways, you're going to be more likely to spend. You're going to be more likely to indulge in the culture and the community. And I think that comes from persistent events, better endgame, far better endgame. You know, I'd like, again, I've said it before, dungeons, world bosses, raid bosses, potential matchmaking things, you know, just going outside the box a little bit in some of the modes, in my opinion. I feel like everything just feels kind of safe in Wuthering Waves. I want them to try some stuff. Hey, it might be a massive failure and people might roast them for it, but I want them to try, you know what I mean? I feel like at the moment, everything feels super safe now. I want them to just go balls to the wall with some of these events. And hey, if it sucks, you know what I mean? Move on to the next one kind of thing.
Cool, but that give like a big reason for people to like max spice their characters. Maybe you can even like switch in the characters between each hologram and stuff like that. Wait, that actually sounds kind of cool. Oh, maybe I should do that. Anyway, I guess I'm back to Genshin again. Huh. I mean, everyone say 5.0 is really good, and everyone keep asking me to check it out, so welcome home, cheater. Okay, bye.
You know what, fair. I can't really, argue with any of his points, really, apart from that Venti image that I saw, but everything else, I think is fair. You know, as I say, I'm not, I do want to try Genshin again. It's been a while, but I don't think I'm ever going to be like, right, I'm Genshin again, because there's just other gacha games I'd rather play, if I'm honest. And I think respect my time a little bit more. But I agree, the end game in this game is its biggest factor. Events and end game, if they can work on that, everything else will fit into place, in my opinion. Obviously, the story needs to be good and characters need to be good, but they need to sort that first. If the minute-to-minute gameplay on an average basis is lacking, who cares if there's a new banner coming out? Because what do you do with a banner if you've got nothing to do? Wait for another month for content to come out regarding the story to play them as? I don't know, do a reset once every 2 weeks on endgame? You know what I mean? Wait for the elusive realm to drop and then clear it in a couple of days. Like, we need something that's like giving you that daily reason to play the game, and not just to log in, do your dailies and bounce, but actually play the game and absorb you into the whole ethos of the game. Because I think that's how they'll turn people into payers. Because that's what Genshin did, really. Genshin didn't just get people hyped because of banners. People, obviously the COVID buff was a thing, but people fell in love with the game, the IP, the brand recognition, and then the spending comes, you know what I mean? And I think that's where Wuthering Waves is failing a little bit, if I'm honest. But everything else, though, game's fire, you know what I mean? It is fire. They've got the base level right there. They've just gotta tweak things. I'm confident they will. I hope they will anyway. BGR has all the combat. They're trying to cater fans more. People said the lack of events with combat, and they're doing that. The new event is to be experimental for upcoming events. I agree. I think this new event is kind of like a baseline for something potentially for further events, or even maybe something that, like, I feel like it could be testers for something that they might be working on in game. You know, like, yeah, I am confident, but you know, I think we've got to be honest about some stuff in the space as well. Can I react to the Kushoka trailer? Let's have a look. I'm down. Let's have a look. React to everybody's mold in PGR. What's that? Is this which one? Eternity Together? Oh, that's full animation. Oh, that's a fan thing. The Punishing Grey Raven, CN Polaris Bond, Q Shukra official PV from 11 months ago. That one. Everybody's mauled. Let's have a look. Gold is pure mold. Every day is hologram in PGR. I don't know which one. There's a few different mold videos. Alright, which one we're looking at here? Let me know. This one here. For PGR trailer. React to your own reaction. Eternity Together. This one. Okay, alright. Oh, and chat wants to see these. Eternity Together. Kushukra full animation. Punishing Grey Raven. English sub. Viet sub. Alright then, this is from Motiyaba, I think. All right, let's check it out. CC on just in case.
万市民国际回换率已上升至88%，
我知道了。
89%即将抵达自检终止阈值。
或许倒计时的尽头，之后会发生什么？
未来无从知晓。
未来，未来。
万市民本机自检终止。再见了，你该回去了。
Oh, these animations fire. Is this like straight from Kuro? Is this fire?
刚才救了危险。
No such stutter.
这是在这里，突围出去，保护民众。
We need more of this stuff as well for Wua.
给我散开！
Are they actually mixing like? Oh, it's probably actual visual effects, but that almost looked like hand animated explosions. For the smoke. Well, this is badass.
这里就是九龙的落日了吗？
They are, aren't they? I love the mixture of work here.
你看到那颗白色的星星了吗？勾陈一，那是由3颗星星组成的3核心系统。几百年前，我们的先辈就是靠着它过洋千星，征服大海，远航世界。
What, terracotta soldiers? Okay, this is badass. This is.
虚假的网，这是所有有机体的末日。
Oh shit.
孩子，这3颗星星里，只有1颗最为明亮，却离其他行星
Yo, I'm so invested right now.
遥远。430光年呐，太远了，真的太远了。
I was thinking that actually there with glasses.
他只能在那儿孤独地燃烧着自己，只有这样，人们才能看清他。只有这样，才能为地上的人们指引方
Oh, I
向。
love the mix of 3D and traditional art. That's so freaking dope. What's going on, Kasumi? And Kuro were cooking something with this one. That was a goosebumps moment.
辉宇，
Oh, this is big.
九龙的意志集结于此。
Holy shit. That was epic. I'm glad you let me know about that. That was epic. The quality of the animation there was top tier as well. I love the mixture of like the traditional effects in with the 3D animation as well. That looked really good and it was done really well as well. You know, the mix was done just perfectly. It didn't look out of place or anything like that. Actually surprised to see the blood in there though. That's a thing. That was dope though. Appreciate you letting me know about that. Fire. Absolute fire. Damn. Ooh. How am I liking PGR? I like PGR. I do. PGR's fun. I really do like PGR. I've been enjoying it. As a newbie, it's been a lot of fun. A lot of fun. All right then. We'll check out that more video as well. Let me pause that. Close that. Hey, I guess while we're looking at these videos, let's have a look then, shall we? Guys, shout out to everybody watching as well. If you are watching on YouTube, drop a like on the stream. It's very much appreciated as well. Quick plug, gotta do it. Pinned comment in both chats, Twitch and YouTube. The video there, uploaded that today. Check it out. Let me know what you think. Yeah, sub if you haven't already. Cooking with bacon grease for real. Yo, what's going on, Commando Mace? Amarin has to be better than 10 R gold. Don't even talk to me about it, bro. Like I'm happy he's gone. I'm just the place that the club's in at the moment's painful. But yeah, he's an up and coming coach, man. One of the most interesting young coaches in Europe at the minute, I think.
What? Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Kasumi-chan XX followed your channel.
Hey, Kasumi, thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, let's get into this one then, shall we? This is from Carlo Ku. We did watch a video from this dude before, actually. It was a good video. I was wrong. This is a problem, Wuthering Waves. All right, let's get into it then. See what he's got to say. We've been watching a few videos recently where the community's got some questions. Let's see what this is all about.
So I made a video regarding the male character situation in Wuthering Waves.
Okay, we did actually make a video about this a couple of weeks ago. I've got another video that I was going to talk about, actually, talking about this. If he's talking about he thinks it's a problem, at the minute, I don't think it is a problem. I would like to see some more cool male characters, but I think we've got some on the horizon as well, if I'm honest. Because I think Wuthering Waves male characters are pretty dope, actually.
I gave my opinion, and basically, I was wrong. Very wrong, in fact. My take was that the situation wasn't really a problem at all. And yeah,
I don't think it is a problem.
Although I supported people being annoyed that there isn't many playable male characters currently.
What is it? What are we at the minute? What is it? Is he 17 to 7? Is that right? What did he start off with? 10 to 6, I think, wasn't he? So it's not like an insanely like skewed ratio, if I'm honest. Some gacha games some gacha games literally only do female characters, and some really ignore male characters, and then when you get a male character, it's like some freaking femboy character, which, hey, if that's your bag, not knocking it, you know, but I must admit, I like my Calcharos, I like my Gians, and Kuro, I've said it multiple times and I'll keep saying it, make Yarn a Resonator, dude's a freaking Giga Chad.
I didn't agree to those who didn't play the game or as much, just because there wasn't male characters. I found it weird that, you know, a person's reasoning for playing a game is for a gender. I let my own personal...
I don't think that's weird at all. Hey, listen, if the next 7 banners were male characters, I'd have a problem. I don't think that's weird, you know, especially when you're playing a game that, like, you definitely want some cool waifus. I think that's fair, you know, and there's some people who literally don't want male characters, not because, you know, gender's a massive thing to them. It's just they want to look at some nice boobas.
Mindset of, I don't mind either gender. I'm fine playing both. I'm here for the gameplay and story, so the lack of male characters is the least of my worries. I let that blind me. I let it cloud my judgment. I'm a fool, and I'm sorry. I really am. I failed to realize just how big the female gamer community actually is. My eyes are open.
That's true. I am one of those people, though. Hey, correct me if I'm wrong, ladies, because obviously I'm saying this as a dude. I tend to think a lot of the times that I feel like we've got this problem a little bit in journalism in the West, that this idea of... We talk about that women and men are the same, which they're not, but let's not get into that. But then when it comes to games, games have to change all of these things that made them popular to cater to a potential new audience of women. But I feel like a lot of the times, girl gamers are like dude gamers. They like a lot of the stuff in the games that we like, you know? The same reason why they like a lot of the anime that we like. They're there for the badassery, not the, whoa, I can't get down with this now because it's a dude. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm totally wrong there. And I'm not saying that they'd want sort of to twist and change a little bit sometimes and lean more into that sort of stuff. That's probably true. But yeah, you know, like when it's like girls who are into Halo. Girls are into Halo because Halo's fucking sick. You know, all of a sudden, if they turn Master Chief into a chick, it wouldn't be like girls are like, oh, that's it. That's what I was waiting for. You know what I mean? They liked it because it was cool anyway.
Now. So please forgive me for the stupidity in the last video. My take on this matter now is that this is a problem.
You're right, Hecko.
You see, I never really considered how the female side...
And that's what I say. Girls who want that, they'll go to that. And it's obvious that there's plenty of girls who definitely want that sort of stuff in the husbandos. But I also think that, you know, there's a lot of the girls, because we see them, you know, they're here, we see them. Obviously, I don't know exactly how people think. But I see plenty of girls who are into Genshin, Star Rail, whatever. When a new big booba waifu comes out, or whatever game it is, they're cooming just as much as us sometimes, if not more.
I feel terrible for not, but we're at a point where they play a huge role in the gaming community because there are actually very many of them playing these games, these gacha games. An example of this is Love in Deep Space, a game that is...
I'm a female PGRCC and I like husbands as much as long as they're fun. Yeah, I think that's what it is at the end of the day, isn't it? Good character design, cool, I guess, story and lore and origin, whatever you will, and then really good gameplay. And if they do all of that, characters for me, you know what I mean? It's why I really like Gian. It's why I like Calcharo. You know, he's got his shortcomings, but it's why I like Calcharo. Now, I was saying this yesterday in stream. Zhang Yao, it's probably because I haven't built him up enough. I just don't seem to have that much fun with Zhang Yao. You know what I mean? Where like Tao Chi, for me, looking at her, initially you'd think I'd be all over Tao Chi, but I don't enjoy playing her. She's too cumbersome. Same with Bai Ji. I find her a bit cumbersome. You know, Jin Si is probably the most, I guess, less crazy waifu in that regard, you know, in terms of the typical stuff that I think people are looking for in your Changlis and your Yinlins, etc., etc. But I love her because she's so freaking fun. And I just love her whole character. At the end of the day, it's all about that, isn't it? If it's fun, if it's cool, major thing. End of the day, I don't care whether they're a male or female. I will admit, I'd probably like it skewed a bit more towards females. But that's probably just because I'm a degenerate gooner as well. But it depends on the game as well that I'm playing, you know what I mean? Like, if I'm playing an MMO, I always craft male characters. But now when I play gacha games, I do prefer to play as female characters.
Mainly meant for them.
The
and it works. That game makes tons of money. That being said, Wuthering Waves is currently not really benefited. Wuthering Waves is currently not really benefit. Why can't I speak? Wuthering Waves is currently not benefiting from the female player base because just like how us dudes like seeing ladies on the screen, the girls don't really get to see many chads. They get Jian, who is honestly fine. He's a fine character. He has good playability. And he has decent story involvement. But however, they have Calcharo, who looks great, don't get me wrong, but he has 0 appearances in the story, and he's not really that good in terms.
Biggest disrespect in the game, in my opinion. This guy needs his own freaking companion quest or needs to appear in the game. If this never happens, I will riot. I'm sure it will, but it better.
In terms of playability. Then there's a little gremlin who I probably shouldn't even count on this list, but I mean, he's not really that cool or anything. At least in my opinion, he's kind of lame. They also get Shangli Yao, who, just like Jian, is fine, honestly. He's strong, looks fine, and had an appearance in a style.
Do you think that gaming in general doesn't really need to specifically cater for either gender? I wouldn't say no. I think there's always room to try, and I guess you'd probably say cater to stereotypes of each gender, because I think stereotypes do exist for a reason. Not all stereotypes, and obviously stereotypes can be inherently negative. They can be inherently positive as well, but I don't think you should take too much stock in them. But I think leaning into them, you know, like I say, they kind of exists for a reason, to some degree. But I just think at the end of the day, gamers, whether they're male or female, want to play good games, and I think that's the major factor. I think sometimes if you get carried away with like, right, we need to design this game for 14-year-old lads, or we need to design this game for 5-year-old women, and that's all you're thinking about, and everything else comes secondary. I don't think you're going to interest either. I think you make a good game, and then you try and you get an idea of what's going on in the community. You don't listen to internal corporate structure telling you what women want or what men want. You try and you get out there, you get a feeling for what the community wants in general, because each community is different as well, isn't it? And I think that's how you can try and work towards both genders for your game and make everybody happy. You're never going to make everybody happy, but I think first and foremost, you've got to make a good game, and then everything else is secondary.
He had an appearance in a side story, which is fine. As for the rest of the male characters, they're all 4 stars who people probably barely use. They aren't that good compared to the rest of the characters in Wuthering Waves, at least in my opinion. But overall, the game only has 7 male characters currently versus the 17 female characters. Yeah. It really isn't.
It is a decent skew if you look at it, but I don't think it's like massive. And I do think if this was like 17 to 17, I think they'd be making even less money, potentially. I think the major part of the market probably is more interested in these characters. But then again, though, like I say, probably, you know, like I'd say, if I had to list them, I'd say Jinxie's probably my favourite character in the game. And then I really like Danjin as well, from a design perspective. Yinlin, Shorekeeper. I really like Lumi as well. And then, like, Jian might be my second favourite, third favourite, potentially. Calcharo's up there as well. You know, so, like, I don't know, though. I guess, what do you guys think? Obviously, I can only say this from my personal point of view. I think this is one of those conversations where you can't really say if it's a problem or not. because everybody sees it differently, don't they?
Fair that we get to enjoy the vast female characters who are all mostly great, by the way. They are all mostly great. While the female player base, just a few. We get to enjoy the most OP character in the game with amazing looks and animations.
This is what I think needs to happen. Well, then again, though, Zhang Liao is really powerful, isn't he? I think maybe like make some of the male characters that do come like actually meta as well. Although for me, that doesn't bother me either.
While they only
Sex
get,
sells,
I don't know,
true.
Shangli Yao to compare because he really is probably the strongest on the male character list. And I don't even know if it's even fair to compare him to Jinzi because she's just that good. Don't let me get started on supports either. Actually, I am getting started on supports. We have Yinlin, a hot-ass elf who boosts electro damage and liberation damage. She's a valuable asset to someone's account.
Great for your account.
Where the hell
your account.
is the male equivalent for you female gamers? Where's your elf? We also get to have the Shorekeeper, the best support in the game. She has everything, the looks, buffs, healing, everything. You see my point. The female roster has insane characters, while the male roster is literally only 7 dudes. More like 3 to be honest. It's pretty bad right now. So overall, because of this, those players...
That is kind of true. It's more like 3, really, when you think about it. Nobody uses the other guys, really, do they? You know? For the most part, anyway.
The female player base aren't really playing the game much. Or at all, really. And they aren't able to spend money either because of the lack of male characters. There has literally been only one new male
then that's a question to our female gamers out there. Are you less likely to spend if there's less male characters? Or again, is it just about the character being fun? Like, does that even, like, come in to you? Because, like, sometimes it's all about kit for people, isn't it? The way the character looks is less of an issue. If it's great, it's a bonus if they look really good, but it's more about how fun are they to play and how are they going to improve my account? You know, some people, that's it, min-maxing. I want the best of the best of the best. Don't miss me with that trash. I don't care how good they look kind of thing. Where I'm kind of like more in the waifu meta. If a character looks good, I'm kind of sold on that kind of first and foremost. And then hopefully they've got a really good kit. And obviously if they're fun to play as well, that's a major part of it. I'd be curious about that actually.
Since the launch of Wuthering Waves, and he was free, so there's a lot of people who could potentially be playing Wuthering Waves, spending money, maybe, but it's not as enjoyable as it is for the people that enjoy the sight of female characters. They just want something pretty to look at, just like we do. So if this game becomes a waifu collector, a lot of potential players will be gone, and I think that'll be an L. Now, just like the last video, I'm going to discuss why this
Unless there's a bunch of dudes who are playing that and just not, you know, not telling anybody, folders hid. You know what I mean?
It's happening in Wuthering Waves. Why is there such a huge lack of men? What could be the reason? Well, for one, it could be...
I really don't think it's that bad. The male demographic is more popular in gaming and males are more likely to spend in gacha games. I agree with that as well. I think you've got to play to your base. If you're a business, you've got to understand your audience, what the major part of your audience is. There's a reason why Hoyo cater to China more than everybody else. It's not because they don't care about other regions. It's because that's where they make majority of the money. And if you're in business, you're gonna cater to your biggest spenders, aren't you? Because why are you in business otherwise? You know, if you've got 80% of your revenue come from this source and you go, fuck you guys, I'm going to cater to these guys. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to lose 80% of your revenue, aren't you? So, yeah, it's true. It's true. I was just trying to get an idea of what, like, girl gamers are thinking more than actually the company, because I get that.
The CN community, which is another big problem in itself. There are many stories of them going to extreme lengths over small matters. The Firefly incident in HSR, the bunny suit incident in Honkai Impact 3rd, and from what I remember, Scaramouche releasing as a playable character caused a big uproar in Genshin. There are more various stories of them harassing people and doxing just because of male characters. You know, I'm not trying to
Did she do some voices in Fate? Name rings a bell.
Point any fingers here, because in general, all communities have their problems, but the CN community does play a big role, especially when most of them are male gamers who want to see pretty women on the screen. So it's likely that Kuro is just being careful right now. It could be. Another thing is apparently the CN government is still passing a law to fight these problems like doxing, but it still might be a while before that happens. So when it does, hopefully then we can see some male characters safely. We don't have to have all these problems. Another reason could be that female characters.
At the end of the day as well, companies are going to care less about the doxing situation and more about the revenue situation, aren't they? Which it doesn't matter how many laws you pass, you're not going to change people's spending habits.
Are just what sells, right? It just works. Sure, if done right and
16
more male
times the
detail, more,
detail.
just like Love and
Well,
Deep
16
Space,
times
all
the
male characters,
waifus.
they make money. I'm sure Wuthering Waves would make a lot of money from them, but female characters is just what mainly works. For every gacha game, that's how it really is. Female characters are just what makes money.
Looking back at my gaming time as a bloke, I reckon I've played at least as much either gender, to be honest. Yeah, I guess maybe that sort of stuff I don't think necessarily too deep into it. You know, some of my favourite games, Dragon Age Origins, you know, playing as a dude in that, Mass Effect, you know, male shepherd for me, Metal Gear Solid's one of my favourite games ever. You know what I mean? In games where you've got no choice, obviously, you know, you're more story-based games. MMOs, I tend to lean into creating more male characters, and it's usually typically for the armor, really, and how the armor will look on the character, if I'm honest, more than anything. You know, I chose the male Trailblazer in Star Rail, the male character in Genshin, but in other gachas where I get to choose, I tend to go female. It just depends the mood. I mean, actually, like, you know, when I start a game and there's a character creation, I just kind of do, well, does that look okay? Does that look all right? Depending on the sort of clothes that I'm in the game and the armor sets and stuff, will it look better on a male? Will it look better on a female? I tend to just lean into it like that. Sometimes it might be a little bit more of a headcanon thing. I'm thinking like, right, if this was a story, would I prefer this potentially? But probably less of that, really.
Money, guaranteed, and it's safer. However, a part of me really wants to believe that this isn't the case entirely, because Kuro's mindset of as long as the game survives, it's okay, or love the game, love the players, love yourself. I hope I quoted that in the correct order. It makes me want to believe that they aren't that desperate for money, but at the same time, just like every company, they need to make money. Yep. Who knows? We can't truly know Kuro's reasoning, but I hope that they are aware of the female player base who just wants more male characters. Shoot, even though they probably make the majority, but there are plenty of other male players out there who want to see more men too.
Oh yeah, I agree. I do. People who watch me know one of my most hyped characters in the game is Scar. And probably mainly because I feel like he's a cool antagonist, and I think the VA for Scar did an amazing job. And I think he's one of the most interesting characters in the game. You know, there's a lot of people hyped for Geshu Lin. Not so much me. I guess it's because we don't, you know, whether if he is truly dead, if we ever will see him, it's kind of just not that interesting to me in that regard, because he's, well, I guess maybe if we see more of him, but he's like, there's a typical, like, missing hero. I'm not that interested. I'm kind of interested in, like, a more, you know, darker antagonistic character. That intrigues me a little bit more.
As long as we can eventually,
yeah, I would like more male characters in the game.
At least more male characters.
Listen, gimme yarn, man. You know, you can't just keep teasing us the training with a new event. Dude just standing there like an absolute boss. You know, and it's just like, where is this guy, man? You know, put him in the game.
It's like at least a 1-to-2 ratio, because it's not even that right now. And then there will hopefully be more people playing the game and enjoying it. It's sad, because I really do think this is a great game. It has beautiful visuals, great gameplay, and a decent story.
I've been having a blast so far with it,
by the way. I just wish more people
with the
can
companion
enjoy
quest.
all of that, but with some more testosterone. It's even more sad because this game has some of the best looking men I've seen in a gacha game. So the potential is insane. Now, let's move on and talk about the future. What are we in for? Do we know anything? More men? Well, the only hope is Scar and Geshu Lin. The only two playable male characters.
With the idea of the different resonators, we're going into a little bit of lore here. You got, what is it, congenital resonators? Was it mutant and natural, I think? And then there's the potential for an unnatural resonator. And you know, you've got like the Fraxidus and the Cortus Avante. You've got that, and they like doing their experiments. And like the Fraxidus is all about like the harmony with tacit discords and the resonance of resonators and all this sort of stuff. Signeymar was talking about this, the idea that potentially, because a lot of people saying that like Scar is Geshu Lin just because of like, you know, the tacit marks and all that sort of stuff. What about the idea that kind of a bit of a segue, that Scar is like an experiment from the Fraxidus and being like kind of a created resonator based on Geshu Lin's resonance, you know what I mean? And maybe his DNA or something like, and that could be like a really cool, interesting story that brings them into the game, you know, and potentially some of the male characters as well, hoping. But I just wanted to mention that actually. It's got nothing to do with really what we're talking about, but I just kind of thought that was an interesting thing. It just popped up in my head and I had to say it, had splurgy, because I thought that was a kind of cool way of an idea with, because it makes a little bit of sense as well with Scar, because the fact that he's got two forms, you know what I mean? And he's got two different attributes, and that could kind of be a cool way that he's results of an experiment, so to speak, in trying to like recreate somebody like Geshu Lin, or create his power again, I guess.
Characters that we know of. The rumor I've heard is that they probably won't be around until like version 2.0 or 2.1, something like that. So we still have a bit to go until we see them. Now keep in mind that it's not as long as some of you might think, because unlike the other gachas we're familiar.
Well, yeah. I don't want to. I don't want to like go into leaks, or I've just heard stuff about male characters. That's all I'll say, you know, and potentially one of the upcoming 5 stars, potentially kind of soon, could be. That's all I'll say.
Familiar with. The rumor is that we're going from version 1.4 straight to 2.0. So we won't be edged as long, but still, we got a decent few months until then. Another thing I want to talk about is that I don't think it's annoying that people constantly want men, because I completely understand. I get it, especially now that I had some character development from the last video. So when people who do find it annoying keep saying,
dude's on a new arc,
and go to Love and Deep Space if you want more men, it's just not fair. Those are two.
Yeah, that is a crappy take, because I haven't seen any of that Love and Deep Space, but like in terms of combat, does that game even have combat? Like everything I've just seen seems to be like full on fan service. You know what I mean? And you know, girls out there want to play action games as well, but maybe they just want more male characters. That's definitely a fair take, I think. Not to try and speak for women,
people came to Wuthering Waves because of its RPG aspect, visuals, gameplay, and everything else. They want to enjoy all of it, but with more men. It's completely understandable. Another argument could be,
it has combat.
Like Genshin.
Does it play a large part of the game?
There's a big chance they already do. But
I haven't even looked into that game.
The men in that game aren't quite on the same level as the way Wuthering Waves looks. I'm not trying to bash on Genshin, trust me, but I totally get it if people prefer the men in Wuthering Waves. At least what men we do have. Look, guys. We have Chong-Li.
Dude, the slander for Ling Yang's hilarious. Like Ling Yang was just crossed out then.
Yinlin, Camellia, Shorekeeper, Jinxie, and more. We should allow them to be annoyed. Anyway, that brings me to the end of this video. I hope you guys like this one a lot more, as I feel reformed. Again, I apologize for the last video. Let me know what you guys think down below.
You shouldn't feel the need to apologize. That was your thoughts, even if you've come to a different idea of your thoughts. I don't think it was unfair to say that you didn't think there was an issue, because I don't necessarily think there's an issue. Now, I'm saying that from my perspective. I don't feel like I have to apologize for that, even if there's a bunch of people saying you're objectively wrong, bro, which at the end of the day, it's just preference. I think the game has some of the best male characters. Not the best, some of the best. The game's still early. I think it's always going to lean into more female characters. It's just how it's going to be at the end of the day, you know? But I think it's doing better than some other games, that's for sure. You know, some other games literally are just like, look, bro, this ain't your space. If you want male characters, go elsewhere. Which is fine as well. That's totally fine. And it's totally fine for games to go the opposite direction and go full on male characters, you know, like Love and Deep Space. It's working for them. You know, I think it's about trying to find that balance, isn't it? That's what it's about, is try and provide the community with a good game and then provide them with the things they want without alienating everybody or the majority. You're always going to cater to the majority, but you obviously want to try and cater to other people as well at the end of the day, because, you know, I think it's just better for everybody anyway. You know, I think we've seen one thing, though, that, like, Jian's banner again looks like it's not done so well. I think the thing is, though, with Jian's banner, both his banners come at a bad time, which doesn't necessarily represent what I think the community feels. He was the first banner, and at the start of a gacha game, what do you get? A shit ton of currency. So I think a lot of people are able to get him without spending. And then he's kind of been sandwiched now. He's between a rock and a hard place again, between Shorekeeper and between Camellia. And I think a lot of people had him. And, you know, and being the first rerun, I feel like he was just kind of thrown out to the wolves both times, if I'm honest. So I don't know if it necessarily represents people's spending habits on the game as well as it could, in just where it happened, if that makes sense. But yeah, it was a good video. It was, yeah. I like Kaluku. Yeah, I'll be interested to see what people think about this, really. This is one that I can only say what I think, but obviously what I think don't affect the wider community. I'll be interested to see what people think about it, if I'm honest. They've done the general dirty twice. They did a little bit. I admit they did. Combat is simple for majority of female player because a lot of them are not a non-combat girls game. Well, I was gonna say as well, have you guys seen that? What is it? That Nikki game? That game definitely seems like it's trying to appeal, I guess, to more of a traditional female audience, I guess, in regards to that it's like got more Disney style visuals, and it's more about, you know, you get all your attributes from dressing up in dresses and stuff, basically. Well, the game starts off with you getting isekai'd by your aunt's dress. You know? Yeah, I think it's easy to see where they're going from then. There. Well, visually, I must admit that game actually looks decent. And one thing I'll say that it looks like it's better than Wuthering Waves in regards to is I watched Mrs. Sticks play, and there seems like there's a load of cool little mini game and events that really kind of little things should be in Wuthering Waves, in my opinion. So yeah, that was interesting when I saw that. Not really for me, but I think it'd be for Rosie. I showed Rosie and she was like, "Oh, this looks kind of cool." Because I think she likes the idea, because it's got like kind of a Sims element to it as well, like dressing your character up in all different kinds of outfits, and all your stats are based on your outfits, basically, like, you know what I mean, rather than the character. That's what the gacha is. It's dresses and skirts and hats and all that sort of stuff, like, you know what I mean. Let's have a little look here then, and we'll jump into the game, shall we? We'll show a look at a video from Sticks. We'll check out a video from Sticks as well in a second. Should we watch this Kazahana video? I feel like I get triggered by Kaz's videos recently, though. You know? And I shouldn't, because I respect the game, you know? I don't hate the players. You gotta hate the game. But yeah, I don't know, man.
So recently,
Wuthering Wave, the vids have been getting me a little bit. Alpha Crimson Weave.exe, Punishing Grey Raven from Swain. We could check that out as well, actually. Maybe watch that a bit later. So I do plan to try and double dip today, and we'll do some Zenless later. Yeah, I'm just having a little look here if there's anything interesting. If you want, just let me know in chat. Just let me know in chat or in a comment section on my videos. I don't actually have like an official place, but yeah, if there's anything you ever want me to watch, just mention it and I'll have a look for it. Even if I don't watch it like right away, I'll add it to my watch later list and check it out. I'm not talking about Nikkei. I'm talking about Nikki. Have you guys not seen it? Like an open world game. Infinity Nikki, that's it. Infinity Nikki. It's a little bit different to Nikkei. Yeah, Infinity Nikki, yeah. Punishing Grey Raven. Let's have a look. Our thoughts on Girls Frontline 2. Actually interested in that. Actually interested in that. Yeah, I got this one. We'll slap that into watch later. Is that from you, Kazumi? Do you make videos? Ooh. Yeah, I'll show you guys. We won't watch too much, like, but I'll just give you a little heads up. I must admit, the game looks really pretty. Really pretty. Like, the world design looks beautiful. Definitely looks like it's running on Unreal. Like, I know Rosie will love this. I even said myself, I might stream it for the banter one of the days, you know what I mean? Because we are going to stream Nikkei soon, the PC version, because I played it on mobile, but because I want to play the story for that, because apparently it's a really good story, but I skipped through it because I can't, like, enjoy stories on mobile. I just can't.
For the past week, I've been playing Infinity Nikki, a game that caught my eye back in May of this year during a PlayStation State of Play.
This is the real Punishing Grey Raven, right?
To see if I wanted to jump into Nikki to experience what it.
Thoughts on coffee or tea? Tea all day. I don't mind a coffee. It tastes all right, but I don't know what it is, man. I don't know if it's a caffeine or what. If I have like more than one coffee in a day, it makes me feel like crap. It really makes me feel like crap. I'm a tea guy. I'm as British as it gets, you know? Good cup of tea. Good cup of tea for me.
Has to offer shortly before the closed beta test.
Well, that actually looks pretty though, doesn't he?
Of today. This game was actually first revealed at the end of 2022, but I didn't know it existed until this year. And little did I know, this is actually the 5th game in the Nikki franchise. However, this would be the very first one to take on AAA open world game status. Now the question that
my little body can't handle too much caffeine.
When I first saw the trailer during that State of Play for Infinity Nikki was, what is this game? It looks simply gorgeous.
Want to check out. It's very pretty. It is very pretty.
It's
we might play it one of the days. You know, I'm down to try anything. I'll never be too snobby towards a game because there's it's to me it's got kind of like that sort of feel of a like a Korean game a little bit more. If you look at some of the character designs though, the facial stuff almost lends itself to kind of like a Disney style as well, a little bit to me. I think that's what they're going with. I think they're trying to do the Disney princess / anime gacha game, you know? Oh, yes, Honor of Kings World looks insane. I actually saw a little bit of gameplay from that on Twitter earlier and I was like, holy shit, what's this? And then I remember somebody mentioning Honor of Kings World and that's supposed to be crossplay. That's going to melt people's phones, right? Love coffee with tons of milk and sugar. Yeah, it's a Lamia, yeah. Let me have a look at this. So I did see a little bit. See, like, there's only stuff from like a year ago. Is there anything like more recent for Honor of Kings? So when I was looking earlier, because I actually looked earlier, because I'd seen this on Twitter, funny enough, and I was looking earlier, and like the latest thing I saw was from IGN from 11 months ago. Is there anything a little bit more recent that I can look for? I'm drinking coffee right now, but then again, I'm just... Well, I talk about caffeine. I freaking drink Coca-Cola by the boatload, but just done it with the same, like, you know, like, actual cup of coffee, like, it does, man. It's like, I don't know, I have too many, and I don't know if I have, like, a come down off it or something. You know? Even on number 21, enjoy Lammy is still very cute in my books about once your amazing niece. I must admit, I'm a big Crimson Weave enjoyer as well. I just really like this wallpaper. I tend to change quite regularly. I think the prior to this, it was Danjin. All right, let's have a look at this one from 11 months ago then. I'm down. This is the official trailer. I think it's the right one because there's another Honor of Kings as well. It's like a MOBA as well. I don't think this is that one though. I think this is the one we're talking about. Is this a gacha game or is this an MMO? I'm not even sure what the kind of game it is, if I'm honest. Honor of Kings World official trailer from IGN 11 months ago. Let's check it out. Yeah, I saw some gameplay on Twitter and I was like, oh, this can't run on mobile, surely? Not like one of those games that's just going to have people's, like, phones melting. That's cool.
但你为什么要寻找奇迹？
Was it? Sometimes it's got to be white on a white background. Is that magical four-arm Black Panther?
这手环的流和奇迹很相似。他也是这么说的。他
跟随手环的指引，找到奇迹。
明白了。
Is this all just a CGI trailer? We don't know.
奇迹近在眼前。不过
It looks in game,
要
or
想
at least
切
in
磋到
engine.
它，可没那么容易。我们到了再说。
I'm getting MMO vibes here.
过来吧，我给你介绍一下，这位是西施，是我新支队的伙伴。
东方要说的人
Character
就
design's
是
quite
你
nice
啊！
actually.
想要接触奇迹，必须成为归墟梦魇的冠军才行。所以你的
I'm telling you, man, the East is cooking, isn't he? The East is cooking. Sticks also talk about it on his MMO boy channel. It's probably safe to say it's probably an MMO then, yeah. I've got to say though, man, the East is cooking. The West is getting cooked.
第一步就是加入稷下学院，欢迎来到稷下。在这里，你将
Oh,
遇
that's
到
a bit
各
weird.
种生灵幻圣，
Got some actual tech as well.
探索奇景遗迹，有无数场冒险等待着你。
That looks dope. Holy shit. Some like what we got here, some like Chinese Gundams or something. I'm getting MMO vibes from it just looking at how things are set up, but
你为什么来稷下？
I don't know anything about this game.
我和这个地方有一些渊源。这里
What is
还
this
有
Korean game?
我一定要找到的东西。
是吗？我也一样。
你运用流的方式很特别，难怪东方要那么看好你。
Okay.
也许你能成为解决这次危机的关键。
Boss mechanics, always love to see it.
最终的建议。
Character swaps, okay. So, has he got a gacha element to it then? I'm so confused. I've got so many questions. It's
这里
Chinese.
含有
Is
着
it?
极其强大的魔道能量，好像就是东方耀在调查
So
的
it
那
sounds like Mandarin anyway, I
他
think.
也被侵蚀了吗？
元歌学长。
也许
It's just got, it's got kind of that like Korean look to it, if you know what I mean. Like Korean games tend to have like a, you know, that like Nexon-y kind of look, but it looks a little bit nicer than that
他
usually.
追求的极致美学。
生命绽放于战场，璀璨就在你眼前。
That's kind
容
of
我
cool.
为你展示极致的机关之美。让我们开始游戏吧。
That's pretty dope, yeah. That was pretty cool, actually. Seems like they're going all out on boss fights. Good bit of CC. What the hell? These characters are like pretty dope, actually.
你也要起舞。惊叹吧，偶戏的全貌。让我们开始最后的盛宴。被牵线的少女，
美中苏醒吧！
Oh, has he took control of one of that? Oh, or is he like, are they just like tricks? making his puppets look like some of our people. That was sick. Yo, some of these characters actually look like they got good kicks. Fuck is this Titanfall? Dude's just calling it a fat mecha. That Winnie the Pooh mecha.
你我创造了极致的美。
Oh, I'm interested, you know. I'm
你好
interested.
像变得不一样了，你存在的意义。
He does kind of look, he's got that kind of Korean look to it, doesn't he?
有股强大的力量侵蚀了这里。
Looks like a cool universe. Character design is gorgeous. It seems like they're leaning heavily into the big boss fights, doesn't he? The East will set us free for a nominal fee, for real.
这转瞬即逝的光景，真美。
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, the Chinese, Korean, Japanese... Well, Japan's always cooked, hasn't it, really? I think, if anything, Japan's been cooking less of recent years. But, yeah, man, China's been cooking recently. Love to see. Love to see. What was that there? Was that actual gameplay, was it? Official gameplay reveal. Let's have a look at this. I want a solid chunk of gameplay that I can look at. That lasts more than, like, a 5-second snippet, you know what I mean? Do not forget the past.
要做到这件事，
I'll say so far they don't like. It's got like what I'm seeing is it feels like it would fit an MMO perfectly, but they're showing everything off in a single player manner. They've seen no combat with other people around. We're seeing character switching every time they've been walking around in the open world. They seem to be on their own, or at least from what we saw there. Maybe we'll see more.
很难。
不过，其实来之前就听要讲过无数遍了。
只有奇迹才有这样的力量。
Okay, the world looks gorgeous. Decent draw distance as well. There, obviously, we've got the typical sort of fogging, but decent draw distance in the world as well.
这就是我来记下的。
Looks big. We got swimming. No, is this in-game or is this just a little in-engine cutscene going on here? Can you actually do this near water? Grapple and glider, okay.
我一直在做这个梦。
Shorekeeper's here? That's pretty sick, that is. So have you got like archetypes or because like that looked like it was doing the same ability on two different characters then? Can like is it like a weapon system potentially?
一直不停地战斗。
直上青天，揽星辰。
So from what I've heard, I don't know how true this is. This is going to be on mobile as well. Now, you're going to have like a bag of ice under your phone, right? Or wear gloves, because like shit's going to be getting hot. I get this running on phone, that's impressive. One thing I will say though, It doesn't look like there's lots of enemies around in the background. Maybe they're loading though, I don't know. Just noticed that. Seems like they're really emphasizing these big bosses though, doesn't it? And some of them look really cool as well.
直到他对我说
Oh man. Okay. Different biomes. Okay. All right. I'm interested. They've got my attention. They've definitely got my attention. If that's on mobile, I just start my phone as resurrection powers for real. Like I'd hate to be the CPU in a phone trying to run that. Oh my god, I bet the thing would be screaming for help because that looks visually impressive actually. You know, fast paced, fidelity's high, massive draw distance, lots of visual effects going on. I feel like initial launch is probably going to be rough for a lot of people, but we'll wait and see what happens. New open world action RPG developed by Timmy Studios of Tencent. So I guess it's not an MMO. So I looked for them on Twitter. What is it? Timmy Studio. See if we can find them on Twitter. Because I searched for the game on Twitter, but just that. There's a MOBA called Honor of Kings or something, isn't there? And that was just kept coming up. Timmy Studio. Timmy Studio. Oh, here we go. Timmy Studio Group Dev of Pokemon Unite, Call of Duty Mobile, Arena of Valor, Honor of Kings, Speed Drifters, and more. Okay, so they've had experience with some big titles then. Pardon me. Obviously, they're under the umbrella of Tencent, so you know they've got the financial backing anyway, so they can make things happen. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Is this something different here on Twitter? Ah, I found the Twitter. No, it's not. It must be linked. Ah, it must be linked then. Honor of Kings is the world's most played MOBA with more than 100 million daily players, developed by Timmy Studio, and published by Level Infinite, so you're going to need a Level Infinite pack. So I guess it's set in that world then. They're doing kind of what Riot are doing, I guess. Years later, as they confront each other directly regarding the evil spirit incident, their fates are intertwined and the bond between them is once again. Okay, so you've got Honor of Kings and then you've got Honor of Kings World. Okay, yeah, I can't find their Twitter. I thought that was a newer bit of footage, but I think it's for that MOBA game. It must have some involvement with Age of Empires Mobile as well. All right, okay, interesting. Keep my eye out for that. Definitely keep my ear to the ground, so to speak. Want to watch some old footage of GTA San Andreas Bigfoot sighting that was uploaded 17 years ago? Yeah, that's the thing for me. Like, you know, when I hear people say, we were on mobile, I'm just like, how? Obviously, I know there's controller support now, but I'm just like, I respect it because I can't, man. I can't play anything that, like, takes any sort of, like, skill expression on mobile. I can't, you know what I mean? But, like, I'm just not a mobile gamer either. Yeah. Honor of Kings, yeah. It's about, yeah, Chinese LOL, basically, yeah. Oh, really? Do they? Yeah, they're involved. The company that's developing it as well. They're involved in like Call of Duty Mobile as well. So they've you know let's play it on tablet. They've got experience, that's for sure. Anyway, and obviously if Tencent's behind them as well, you know, the pockets can potentially go deep. It just depends on how much of that's involved. All right, let's check out this video from Sticks, then, shall we? Let's have a look. Wuthering Waves haters are absolutely pissed. Sticks video. We do like a bit of Sticks on this channel. Let's move my cam up here so we can see his beautiful face when he switches scenes, if he does. And let's see as well. Actually, don't play this game because you'll probably get really drunk. Take a drink every time he hates on Terra Fantasy. I think it's funny. He gets people triggered about it, actually. But let's get into it then. Wuthering Waves haters are absolutely pissed.
It's just hit an achievement that only 2 other gacha games in history have hit.
Okay.
Wuthering Waves crosses 10 million downloads on TapTap alone. This is disregarding the Android store, the Google Play store. This is disregarding the Apple store. This is disregarding PC via their.
Oh, is that just directly from TapTap? That's quite big, actually, isn't it? That
client on TapTap alone, Wuthering Waves has amassed over 10 million downloads. That is incredible. Now, if this is your first time here, consider subscribing to the channel, hitting the little bell notification. That way you remain
haters will say it's bots.
Up to date with every single thing that I post, and I post daily. Do not miss out. Wuwa has now become the 3rd gacha game to cross 10 million downloads in under 6 months, right after Genshin.
Alright, what's the other 2 games then? Oh, shit. I was just about to play a game. What's the other 2 games? But right after Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail. Spoiled it.
Impact and Honkai Star Rail. And I know there are going to be immediately people that are thinking, but Styx, Zenless is probably closing in on 10 million too. Yeah, Zenless probably is, but we're not here to talk about Zenless because Zenless was a more recent release and evidently hasn't attained that number yet that I'm aware of. At least I don't want to take away from Zenless's upcoming achievement, but at the same time I do not want to take away from the current Wuthering Waves achievement. If you navigate on over to the TapTap page, you'll see that not only is Wuthering Waves listed as the number 8 action game.
What? Game size 1.86 gig. What? So is TapTap? Is TapTap a mobile thing? And what is the size of Wuthering Waves on phone?
Right now, but it also has 10,050,000 downloads. This is up over 10,000 downloads since this was posted just several hours ago. I am curious on what the 10 most popular action games are on TapTap. It looks like Black Myth Pixel Edition, Blaze Blue Chaos Effect, Delta Operation, there's Punishing Grey Raven, Genshin Impact at number 5.
Hey, let's go, PGR repping.
Number 6. Wuthering Waves at number 7. Oh, okay, so apparently it's a number 7, even though on the official TapTap page it listed it being number 8. Sure, bro.
That's before everything else installs, yeah.
Okay.
Fun and Havoc.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Love and Deep Space at 11. Zenless Zone Zero at number 12. Snowbreak at number 18. Nice. Okay. So, Honkai Impact 3's down at 22. So evidently, a lot of people still seem to think that Punishing Grey Raven is the superior action game out of the 2.
Love in Deep Space at 11. ZZZ at 12. Is that what PGR's called in China? Paladin. What's Delta Operation?
I also see based off of this that Genshin Impact also has a
the hell is Eyes of the Deep Sky? No idea. Never heard of it. Never heard of I've never heard of Blade Realm. I think I've heard of Blade Realm. I've never heard of Mystic Continent. That's Aether Gazer, isn't he? That's Aether Gazer. That looks like Vathandi out of Aether Gazer. I think that's what that might be, maybe? Now PGR is called Twin Battle Punishing. What's this here? Paladin then? Because that looks like Vathandi out of Aether Gazer, that does. Dust White Forbidden Zone. So that's Snowbreak? Okay.
As an action game than Wuthering
Demon
Waves. Totally
subduing
makes sense.
technique.
I've never said that Genshin isn't a more popular game. It is.
Battle Girls Parkour.
I know some people are gonna get a little bit angry.
Warm snow. If you ever feel warm snow, wash your hands. Okay. And especially if it's yellow, then get back home and wash your hands.
That I've stated that. This still is an incredible achievement. Over 10 million downloads, rated number 7 in terms of action games in all of China, or action gacha games at the very least in all of China. This isn't the global TapTap website. This also isn't the Apple App Store, the Google Play Store. this is unrelated to global as a whole. China seems to have a more positive opinion or a more positive perception of Wuthering Waves right now. And
that's good.
I guess
it's going to be good for the game in general. I don't want to see I want to see a balance in the regions. I don't want it to become Genshin and China drastically like overshadow every other region in terms of spending, because then Kuro will tend to listen to that region a little bit more. I want it to be a bit more balanced, but at the end of the day, the game doing well in China is good for the game in general.
1.3 with Shorekeeper. Before that, a lot of Chinese players were kind of upset with the game overall, and that is perfectly understandable. But with the release of 1.3 and Shorekeeper, we saw a mass influx of positive votes across every single platform,
good to see.
significantly boosting up the overall rating for.
I think Styx is trying to troll me as well. He usually has his face over here in the little circle, and I've moved my camera now, and he's down in the bottom right corner now.
Every single region of the game. This is nothing but good news for Wuthering Waves, because Chinese players are always a very important demographic for any game that releases in China, or any Western game as well. They are an enormous market when it comes to movies, TV series, and more importantly, video games.
It's a massive market for anything. What, you're talking 1 billion plus people now, up and coming income, you know, a country that's highly skilled, you know, he's like non-stop just improving all the times in terms of infrastructure, quality of life. People have got way more disposable income nowadays, haven't they? Access to technology. Like, it's, if you want to get access to a massive market, China is the place to go, isn't it? And India will be soon following China in that regard, I would imagine.
For anyone that was saying Wuthering Waves is a dead game, they are coping, beyond coping.
Anybody who uses Sensor Tower anyway, they're coping. Like, and this might sound like a cope, but especially for Wuthering Waves, because in my opinion, Wuthering Waves is it's a PC game at the moment that happens to have a mobile client, you know. And Sensor Tower takes iOS data and then times it by 1.5 to guesstimate Android data as well, which, you know, might be about right, but could be miles off the mark for one. And 2, doesn't take into PC, which I think is probably a major part of the spending in Wuthering Waves, because the game is just better on PC. Obviously, when it comes to console as well, you know? So, yeah, you shouldn't really take too much stock in Sensor Tower, really.
Let's see what some of these comments have to say. Before we go any further, let me take a
People
moment here
treat
to
it like it's gospel,
over on
you know
Patreon
what I mean?
and my YouTube channel members. Well, allow for me to continue.
It's like they don't even get their iOS numbers right, so
you guys are
the idea that
phenomenal.
they're getting
I can't thank
Android
you all
numbers
enough
right
for the
is
support.
mental.
Now, let's keep talking. Free 10 polls, please.
I know, yeah.
Funds.
Do you know what? I think checking revenue on gacha games, it's always kind of been a bit of a trend, but it seems to have exploded since Wuthering Waves came out. Now, you'll find me on this channel. I try to be, I've got my biases, you know, I can't deny that, but I try to look at things as objectively as I can in regards to that stuff. But what I have noticed that since Wuthering Waves came out, the revenue seems to be way more interesting to people, because I think that, you know, because it hasn't done as well as some people was expecting it, I guess, on Sensor Tower, which again, it's not the best source to get your information from for most games, let alone Wuthering Waves. You know, it just seems to have been a thing now that's become a real big trend, and I don't know if it's so every month people can go, aha, my game that I've got no investments in made more money than your game. Somebody's living good over there. Have that.
Have Kuro not noticed that we hit over 10 million downloads? Dude, we need a free 10 poll for this, 100%.
Yeah, Star Rail versus Genshin was a big thing as well.
10 poll, 100%, that's what we need. Well, if it isn't the totally failing gacha, that will totally end of service soon. Yeah, exactly. Oh no, only 10 million downloads on one platform. How terrible. Congrats, Kudo.
Tribalism is real, yep.
Rewards, we all are. The great thing—
Don't get me wrong, it's a natural state for humans to be in, isn't it? You know, it's in our DNA. We've always been tribalistic, and sometimes it benefits us. But sometimes it just makes us seem smooth-brained as fuck.
About this is it didn't happen during launch, it happened now, meaning there is undeniable proof that beyond its launch hype, there is a lot of interest in the game. 100%. There are some—
Yeah, I agree, Kasumi, you're right, you guys are right. I suppose in the circles that are content that I've watched a bit more recently, I've noticed it's become more of a thing. But yeah, you are right, I did see a lot of it when Star Rail dropped, because it was that like interfighting between the communities that was happening for a while.
Downvoted comments here that are hidden.
Gacha players aren't
curious
humans.
what they're gonna say. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and assume it's something related to Genshin, Hoyo, or just general WoW criticism. So let's take a look. WoW needs more characters, even filler ones. Other games have a lot of different characters. This is gonna help the game. While I don't disagree, I do genuinely think we need more characters. At the same time, I don't think we're really lacking in characters. We're getting like 2 to 4 characters for every single patch. I think that's already plenty. Plus, it gives us time to save, so we don't have to spend so much
agree with that.
fear of missing out on a character.
I'm a light spender, and when I say light spender, I'm a light spender. You know, I've only spent like 150 quid on the game altogether, and like a good portion of that's on like the Lunite Pass and the podcast. And I missed Jeji because I lost my 50-50, and I was like, right, I'm keeping my guarantee for sure, keeper. So yeah, I want to see more characters in the game, but I don't want. I'm happy with the way things are going at the minute, because I don't want to end up missing out on a bunch of characters. As I say, I've only missed out on Jeji and Ling Yang. That's the only 2 characters I don't have in the entire game. And Yoo-Hoo at the minute, but I'm going to get Yoo-Hoo. So like, I'd like to keep it that way. I'd like to be able to try and at least get everybody, or like 90% of the characters.
Is Tap Tap? I mean, you know what? For someone that doesn't know, that's actually a genuine question. I don't know why that is as downvoted as it is.
You can be tribalistic but an arsehole who knew, right?
W News, we need to make sure WoW beats Genshin. So I knew this was coming. I knew without a shadow of a doubt there was going to be someone somewhere that brought Genshin into this. In the Wuthering Waves community, and like, don't get me wrong, I do genuinely like the WoW community for the most part.
I agree for the most part, but I think that it's like any community, that it's full of arseholes as well. We don't need to make examples. We know it, don't we?
In the WoW community, there is always someone referencing Genshin. In the Zenless community, there is always someone referencing WoW. In the Genshin community, there is always...
That's the one I don't really always get. I get it because they're both new games, but like, I just don't find myself feeling the need, because I'll compare games. Like, the only reason I try and I make comparisons really is like in terms of gameplay, and I see that, like, you know, Wuthering Waves and Genshin are kind of like direct competitors in terms of the games they are. I don't get the Zenless Wuthering Waves comparisons. I'm like, Zenless is more like a PGR, like an Aether Gazer type game, you know what I mean? It's an instanced fast combat game where Wuthering Waves is an open world RPG. So I get it when people make those comparisons, but sometimes people just like they got to throw the bait out, didn't they, as well? That's what I think a lot of people are doing sometimes as well, and people fall for it also in both communities.
Someone mentoring the failed Tower of Fantasy or the failed Wuthering Waves. There is always someone mentioning one of the other major games, and it is just unbelievable.
I love it, I do. I like watching people froth at the mouth and argue with each other online. I'll just sit on the sidelines with my popcorn laughing.
Unbelievably toxic. You can't, I feel like you can't go into any topic without...
A gacha community in general are toxic, yeah. At least we're a community, don't cry about skin tone, harassing, voice acting, attempted assassination. This is true. I think there are levels. And some of the crazy parts of the Genshin community are super, super crazy. That's definitely a thing. I think the biggest problem with Wuthering Waves in the community, in my opinion, which it doesn't trigger me, because I don't care. You know what I mean? I don't spend too much time getting invested in community side of things, really, because people can be weird. But it's maybe the toxic positivity that I'm like, can we not do that? Because I feel like that's going to not help the game. We need to make sure we're critical when we need to be critical. And you should be critical of things you like more than things you don't like as well. But yeah, man, there's some crazies, definitely.
Out someone referencing one of the other games that are in direct competition with the game being discussed. In this instance, it's Genshin Impact. We do not need Wuthering Waves to beat Genshin. We don't need Zenless to beat Wuthering Waves. They are different games with different target demographics, with different graphical styles, different combat styles, different pros, different cons. Every game is unique in its own way and has its own unique dedicated player base. While there might be aspects of each game that are better or worse than the other, no game is infallible and is undeniably objectively better in every single way than the other. That is the long and short of it. That is the God honest truth.
Preference at the end of the day,
that tells you differently is biased. Do we though? Can't we just hope that both games...
One thing I will say though to that, everybody is biased. This is one thing as well that I've noticed that people love to do, and I'm not calling sticks out here. I just mean in general when people are making discussions when they're talking about things, and they're like, oh, you're just biased. And it's like, well, so are you. It's not a bad thing. Everybody's biased. Whether it's conscious or subconscious, there's a thing dictating whether you prefer this to that. And you're always going to try and be objective, but your bias is always going to pull you one way or the other. It's just about being honest about it, isn't it, really? You know, everybody's got the bias.
Keep forcing each other to be better and enjoy both. Exactly, yes, sir.
Toxic
right?
positivity is stupid, yeah.
Wuwa's release.
It's worse for you as well.
Like,
being toxic full stop's never good for you because you're spending too much energy on something that you shouldn't be bothered with. But I think toxic positivity, especially towards something you like, is not great because it harms the thing that you like from it stops it from improving. You should be honest of where I think, okay, this needs a tweak, that needs a tweak. You know, there's quite a few CCs in the Wuthering Wave space now that like Kuro sneeze and they're like, oh, did you see that? Absolutely, Genshin could never, and it's just like, come on, man. Like, you want the game to be better. Stop being such an arse licker.
To become a better game. Genshin is still the more popular game, but Genshin is taking note of all of its direct competition.
Oh, yeah, of course they are.
Everness to Everness, Project Mugen, evidently Wuthering Waves. These games, the fear of being left behind is only going to help Hoyo improve, and there is nothing wrong with that. We do not need a game to defeat Genshin Impact. Honkai Star Rail did that like a year ago. All we need are good...
As well, let's say if Wuthering Waves cleared Genshin in terms of revenue, and, just imagine if I feel like that, man, I feel like the community would get absolutely crazy. But like, so, okay, the game you play is making more money. Cool, I guess.
Games that are good by themselves, not good because they need to compete against Hoyo. No, we just need games that are good. That is it. That is thankfully what Wuthering Waves is.
So I've talked to YouTube since there's more people in. No worries.
Amelia is going to be, and I think Dawn's going to be. Project Mugen's going to be. I swear people like you probably don't even play WoW. They just comment shit like this to make us look bad. Yeah, these type of MFs gives the impression this community is just a bunch of Genshin haters, despite it being one of the most wholesome communities I've seen. Okay, I'm not gonna say it's not gone too far.
Yeah, facts.
I think that's definitely questionable. This is a gacha community.
That there again is like that toxic positivity, like that I've seen that like where people are like, oh, it's the best community in gacha. It's like, is it though? I feel like the best communities in gacha are the communities you just don't really hear much about because guess what? They're playing the video game and then sharing stuff about the game, and that's it. You know what I mean? They're not on another game's comment section trying to argue that their game's better. And I feel definitely the Wuthering Waves community does that a lot because the amount of times I look in comment sections on. I'll be honest. I think I see more Wuthering Waves commenters in Genshin videos than I do Genshin commenters in Wuthering Waves videos. Now, it might be anecdotal where I'm looking, and I think when Wuthering Waves first came out, there was a lot of that. But I think that's kind of settled down a bit now. I feel like it's more the other way, if I'm honest.
Yeah, after all, I do think WoW has a relatively good, kind community. Not all of them, granted, but I do also think that trolls do love pretending to be a part of a community.
Oh yeah, they love to bait the communities, don't they?
Discredit the community.
BGR fans are too busy molding, right?
By being an absolute ass hat. And at the end of the day, those are always going to exist to make communities look bad and to try and get communities to engage one another. These are the kinds of people you ignore, and I'm glad this comment was downvoted because we don't need more hate in this community. There is already enough as it is. Once again, huge accomplishment, big win. I have no doubt we're only going to get more wins in the future.
These are 10 million downloads. Pretty big, that is. Especially on one specific outlet as well.
Every step of the way. Hey, you. Where do you think you're going?
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah. Good to see. Because, don't get me wrong. I like Wuthering Waves. Yeah, obviously, I do. I'm critical. I am. I like to be critical of things, especially things I like as well. But I want to see Wuthering Waves succeed. I think Kuro are good actors in the space, you know? I think in the gaming space, from developers and publishers, we've got a lot of bad actors, you know? There's a lot of shitty developers out there and shitty publishers out there that trying to nickel and dime us left, right, and centre. I suppose that's quite ironic considering we're talking about gacha games. But, you know, the content's not great. They want to preach to us. They're more interested in messages rather than giving us good content. And I feel like Kuro genuinely seem to have a passion for creating stuff for their fan bases that they're going to enjoy. And they're trying the best to make money, but at the same time balance it. And I feel like in this space, they're definitely, you know, whether they're the most generous, whatever, I'm not getting into that because I don't think they are. But I think they want to make the best products, and I think that's evidently clear with Kuro. And I really like that about them. So I want to see them do well, and I will glaze Kuro when I feel like they deserve it. But yeah, I think we get a little bit carried away sometimes, don't we? Asteroids never enough, right? You should have seen the ZZZ 1.3 live comment section. It was full of we could never. Really? Well, yeah. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I suppose it just depends on the content of the video as well, I guess sometimes, doesn't it? You know what I mean? You see my theory behind flat earthers? They know that they are onto hiding. They know that they are onto a hiding to nothing, but they just love winding people up. I have been saying this myself, actually. I was saying this to Rosa the other day. I think a lot of stuff like that sometimes, you know. There's a core community that really believes it, and then there's like this other community that like floats around and just enjoying winding everybody up, and the community as well. And again, I've seen this with there was a dude in Fox's stream the other day, actually. Like, they were talking about, like, because he does have like these, like, you know, he talks about the game quite a lot, like comparisons and stuff, and ends up going over it. And like people were talking about it, and there was this one dude who just kept going in, and he was just glazing Huyo and roasting Kuro. But it was blatantly obvious that he was winding people up. But so many people in his chat were taking the bait. You know, like he was even saying to the point, like, you know, I'll bow down at the altar of Mihuyo and stuff. And it was obvious, like right there, that he was taking the piss, but people were still taking it. Yeah, I agree. I respect the company, you know, and I don't know how many people they're employing at the minute, but I've heard 30 people working on the game. What they've made is impressive. There is some incredibly talented people at Kuro, you know, in PGR, in what I've seen in PGR, and in Wuthering Waves as well. You know, like even in the 1.3 story, just with the little things with the portals, they were showing off the development chops there, they were. Because I remember when PlayStation 5 first came out and Ratchet & Clank came out, I remember when they were showing off the portals and talking about how the SSD tech and all this sort of stuff. That felt like a big flex from Kuro to be like, well, look what we're doing here. Like, it really did feel like that. There's some talented people there, definitely. Those are the sort of trolls I don't mind. Yeah, I love it, I do. Because it's like, really, you know, come on. You should get what's going on here. You know, they're not being disrespectful, but they're just clearly saying to you, I am a troll. And you're just going, I'm angry at you. My phone gave up on Wibber during launch, so I bought a new one since the old one never opened again after 5 consecutive weird crashes on login. Do you play on a pad, out of curiosity, or do you use touchscreen controls? Yeah, I do as well. I do. I hope Kuro do well. Because I was thinking the other day, with the talent that I think they've got there, like, obviously, I don't want to see the developers pulled away from Wuthering Waves because I want Wuthering Waves to get better. But I was just thinking, a company that invested in Kuro wouldn't be doing a bad thing in trying to develop a full-on AAA box price game, you know, because I feel like they could really show up some of the Western AAA developers if they really had the money and the budget and, you know, all of the resources to make a game like that. Because there's some seriously talented people working in that company. There is a Huyo as well, like, you know, the cutscenes in Zenless Zone Zero alone, they blow my mind. They're really well done. There's some seriously talented people in the gacha space in general. All right, let's check out this video from Kazahana then, shall we? Wuthering Waves just shocked us with these insane collaborations. Are they insane? Have they shocked us? I don't know. Is it a 30-second video that Kazahana's turned into an 11-minute video? We'll find out right now. Let's check it out.
Wuthering Waves announced a ton of new collaborations coming to the game. Now, you've probably seen my last video on this. I talked about a couple of collaborations
Hey, disrespectful. Follow away the gazer, bro. Do it.
That Wuthering Waves are doing with some very popular companies like GS25 and also a whole store page which was being featured on Army. But this is nothing to do with this, as Wuthering Waves have actually announced even more collaborations with even more massive companies which could...
So these are the sort of collaborations though that I'm not that interested in, if I'm honest. I get it that it's sort of marketing in China, but it doesn't... I guess it can maybe bring in customers, but it doesn't directly benefit the game, in my opinion. Like, I want to see collaborations that come into the game rather than, hey, look, you know, you go in this sandwich shop and there's a cutout of Yinlin by the door, and when you buy a bag, it's got some images of the characters on the game kind of thing, you know what I mean? Or look at what the sandwich box has got Yoo-hoo on it, you know what I mean?
To help grow the game a ton more. I mean, some of these companies they work with are absolutely giant. They've worked with other big IPs, you know, such as a ton of anime IPs and other places like that, which kind of proves how good Wuthering Waves and Kuro Games are actually networking out to some of these companies and actually working with them on collaborations. Because
bro, he's the biggest glazer without being toxic. He is a very big glazer, yeah.
I think that's one thing that they've struggled on.
Again, though, I don't hate their player. You gotta hate the game. I get it with content creation. You play to your base to a degree. But yeah. Definitely glazes, you know, super hard sometimes. And I must admit, sometimes I'm just like, come on there, bro. You really?
It's kind of working towards getting that kind of status of being able to get things out quickly and working with these bigger companies, which games like Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail do better, just because Hoyoverse is a more established company who has much more rapport with a lot of these other big companies. But it seems like Kuro Games are finally putting their foot down and working with a lot of these companies, so we're going to be going through all of these collaborations today, because there is quite a few of them. Now, some of these involve like trivial things like skins and stuff like that, which again is very exciting.
I don't think they do involve, like, hey, maybe I'm wrong, but we keep seeing this sort of stuff. This is promotional artwork a lot of the time, right? And I keep seeing people saying this. I see these sort of promotional artwork when they're working with some convenience store or a cafe, and they're like, oh, this is the skin, it's coming to the game, and it's like, I don't think it is. I don't think it is. It's just a bit of artwork, you know what I mean? It's probably best not to get carried away thinking that this is going to be the skin for Camellia and for Yinlin, you know what I mean? It's just the colour scheme for this business. Obviously, I'm guessing this is some kind of like 7-Eleven kind of company by the looks of it. And it's just promotional artwork to put in the windows, isn't it?
I say skins, they're more like outfits to promote a collaboration, and some of them are actual like full-on game collabs, which could hint at a really cool future for Wuthering Waves.
That's what I'm interested in.
But before I get to this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and also go over to my Twitch, which is going to be down in the pinned comment down below, or down in the description, where you can watch me live playing Wuthering Waves, or just reacting to some Wuthering Waves content. Again, it's always a good time. We've got a really good community going over there, so I definitely recommend you go follow me, and that way you don't miss a live stream. You get a little notification, and yeah, you can pretty much join whenever I go live. But let's get back into the video. So the first post that I actually saw, and it kind of blew up all over Wuthering Waves Twitter, it's
this is what I'm looking at the other day. Do you know what though? I'm not thinking these are going to be skins, but the design for Ling Yang there is the design we should have had in the game. Because I hate, what are they called, Neo? Bell bottoms? You know, his trousers, Ling Yang's. They trigger me, chat. I don't know what it is, and I'm talking genuinely. They get on my tits. I hate seeing them. It makes me want to punch Ling Yang in the face. It's like, dude, get some new trousers, man. Like, they're annoying me. You look like you're trying to be like an ABBA freaking, whatever you call it, an ABBA freaking band. Like, you're trying to do that. It's just like, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan at all.
Collaboration between Wuthering Waves and China National Geographic, which, if you don't know, China National Geographic is pretty much a, geographic kind of company. They focus on a lot of stuff to do.
Okay, so it's like National Geographic then. It's just for China. I like that. If you don't know China Geographic, it's just kind of like a geographic company.
With animals, wildlife, stuff like that.
That makes sense.
You've probably seen it around, obviously, in like America or the UK. We've got the National Geographic channel, stuff like that. And it's pretty much like that, but kind of like the Chinese version of it. And again, they've done a collaboration, which they often do quite a bit. And we've even seen, over in the UK and the US, them doing collaborations with people like Genshin and stuff like that, where they pretty much have these mascots of characters. And with this comes even more new skins, with the first one being...
Well, is that an audience to go for? I don't know what National Geographic's like now. I remember National Geographic. I just remember my granddad having those, like, come through the post once a week when I was a kid, and it was like a little book. Like, it was like, I don't know what the fuck was in there. I never read the thing. Is there a crossover there with that community? People who are reading National Geographic, like, oh my god, have you seen this? I've got to go play this. Like, look at this dude here. He's got a dragon, bro. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping.
Absolutely looks amazing there. I really like this overall design. He's got a cool coat on and stuff like that, which, you know, is kind of different, but it's not too much different to the point where he's like unrecognizable. Which,
and I wouldn't be so much interested in this in a skin, if I'm honest. If I'm getting a skin, especially if it's premium, I don't want Gian to kind of look the same as Gian, but like he's going out for a date, you know? I want Gian to look different. Like I want it to be like a good change. Now I know like there's some of the coatings in PGR, they are kind of like subtle changes, like where it's just a slight change to their outfit, like where like, you know, with like crimson weave, like she's got like and this is just the basic coatings, like, you know, the ones you can unlock, you know, they've got like a extra like she got the leather thing down her leg and then the tight on the one leg as well. But yeah, I wouldn't be so much interested in this unless it was like something free in the game that I could unlock, because I wouldn't be buying this personally.
Which I think is really, really cool. And that's what they've done with a lot of these skins. Now,
Chinese
I don't really know
different.
how they kind of fit in with the overall, you know, theme of the National Geographic and China's landscape and stuff like that. Again, it doesn't look very traditional or anything like that. It is really cool to see they've implemented this kind of like joint culture, but also like futuristic design on pretty much all of these characters.
It's like I say, to me, when I think National Geographic, I think of like pensioners get the National Geographic. Well, that's what my granddad used to get, and I only ever used to see old people using it. You know, it was like an older thing, like in the UK. It's like something from yesteryear almost. I couldn't imagine my granddad back in the day when he was alive being like scrolling through the National Geographic and being like, Elts, have you seen this? Yeah, look at this Gian skin. Oh, I gotta go play Wuthering Waves.
Because if we go to the next one, we've got Jinshi here, who looks like she's wearing some kind of uniform thing, which again, I think is great, and I really hope that Kuro Games does add some of these as skins, because, yeah, they look good. Then we go to Junshin here, again, looking really, really cool with a camera and stuff like that. And finally, we've got Ling Yang as well, who I actually think looks the coolest. They've actually cooked with something like the big puffy coat and the phone and stuff like that. I definitely think he looks the most unique, which is cool to see, and again, it is very exciting to see that they're working with some of these massive companies, as, you know, I don't think anything gets bigger than the National Geographic. Maybe there's a couple of companies, but again, I don't...
What? You don't think anything gets better than National Geographic? Do I just not know what the hell's going on with the National Geographic? Has that thing just like become this behemoth? Like, it doesn't get much bigger than, hey, who wants to work with Microsoft, Apple? National Geographic, bro. That's where it's at. That's where the crossover's happening, bro.
Definitely think this is a very, very good leg up for Wuthering Waves, and it proves that they are kind of, you know, approved by the Chinese government and stuff like that. Because I'm pretty sure that the China National Geographic is actually state kind of controlled or something like that. So it is good to see that, you know, they are in their good books and that there aren't going to be any issues in terms of like law and stuff like that, which we have seen with a lot of gacha games in the past. And obviously everyone in the comments was asking for these to be, you know, turned into skins and stuff, which again, I completely agree with. I think a lot of these will be really, really cool to play in game. And also this account started like freaking out over the Gian skin, pretty much naming everything that they liked about the skin, as you can see by all the circles here. They enjoyed the fact that there's like a little pin badge there. They've kept his earring things, which kind of look like his old design, which is very, very cool. And also they pointed out one vein on his arm, which, you know, that's a very, very small detail to be pointing out. But yeah, if you like that kind of stuff, then great for you. And I think a lot of Gian fans are eating very, very good with that. And this isn't the first time that the National Geographic has worked with other gacha games. They've worked in the past with games like...
I think it was it Life, that? I think it was, maybe, Sagatsu. Here's another video. This mold is pure mold. Mold, sorry. Yeah, let me have a look at that. Hold up.
Like Arc Knights and other games like that, which again, they've done some really, really cool collabs here. Now these ones I definitely think fit a little bit better with a lot of the whole National Geographic stuff. Obviously, you know, it's kind of like foresty kind of style, and again, they kind of
like you say, Chinese are built different because education matters a lot more, and I would imagine there's probably a lot younger people maybe reading things like that in China, isn't there? So thinking about it, maybe I guess. That sword looks pretty dope though, doesn't it?
Like mix up between different places. This one seems like a more Asian kind of area, whatever that is. And again, it is really cool to see that they are working with some of these companies, because it does bring a lot more legitimacy to all gacha games, not just Wuthering Waves, but other gacha games as well, who may not have that kind of choice or may not have that kind of you know, popularity to actually have these kind of collaborations. And then we move on to another collaboration with Raku Spa. Now, I think this is a Japanese company. Obviously, Raku Spa sounds like what you expect it to be. It's a company that pretty much has a spa area. Now, I'm pretty sure this is in Japan. Obviously, I saw this was like advertised in a lot of Japanese cities and stuff. But as you can see, they've got these massive baths and stuff like that where people can go to. And they've just got some really, really cool places. But also, they've actually worked so much with a lot of other anime and also, you know, other gacha games and stuff like that, including Jujutsu Kaisen being one of them, which I think is great. And now Wuthering Waves is going to be included on that list. Now, they did give us a tiny little bit of a sneak peek of what the skins would look like. Obviously, you can expect that a lot of the clothes will be kind of casual. There might be a few towels involved, just like we saw with the Jujutsu Kaisen stuff and stuff like that. You can see, you know, they're wearing kind of casual clothing, things like that. So maybe we'll see those kind of skins come to the game as well. We don't really know. And this kind of begs the question. A lot of people have been asking, well, with all of these announcements coming out, because we've had about like 6 in the past like couple weeks, when are we actually going to see these in game? Because it's great and all seeing a lot of these come into collaborations and them just being featured on some art, but it would be really nice to see some of these cool designs actually coming into the game and being implemented for people to play. And
I wouldn't mind those sort of designs coming into the game if there were like a flurry and a massive amount of skins and they were just like all like kind of tertiary skins. But I would like some proper skins if I'm honest. You know, I want them a little bit more in keeping. I don't really want to be running around as Camellia looking like I'm working in a 7-Eleven. I'd rather like have some kind of badass stuff that works in the world, you know?
I definitely think this will be something that will come after version 2.0 maybe, or even as soon as version 1.4, because again, people have been asking for this a ton, and Kuro Games aren't stupid. Let's just realize this. They've seen a lot of the comments underneath these collaborations of people asking for them to be skins, and you know, as we know, Kuro Games do like to listen to what the audience thinks, and I think that in the future we will see, you know, some kind of skin coming out in the future. Whether it's going to be any of the ones that we've seen on the collaboration, I don't know, but it would be really nice to see a kind of variation in characters and, you know, kind of seeing a whole kind of skin culture coming to the game, because again, I don't want it to be like Genshin Impact where it's like, oh, we have a skin every half a year or something like that, where it's very, very rare. I do think they should follow in the footsteps of their other games like PGR, and also other games outside of Kuro Games, you know, like Azur Lane, Nikkei, other places like that, who release skins pretty regularly, where it's kind of a common thing, and I think that would be very cool to add to Wuthering Waves, and give a certain aspect to it, and also give them just a bit of revenue, man. You know, to kind of improve their revenue stream in the future. Because if you think about Azur Lane and games like that, the main money that they make is off of skins. If you've ever played the game, they're extremely free-to-play friendly. Like, you can pull every single day, you can get like a couple of free pulls every day. They've got some really cool events, especially on at the moment, and you think, well, if they're this generous, how are they making money? Well, it's because they got hundreds of skins which you can buy, and they're all around about like $20, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more, and people buy them.
That work? Actually, I don't know, what game was that? What game was that for? Azur Lane? Oh, I guess maybe that. Like, just imagine having a skin like that for Wuthering Waves. Imagine you're like Jinsei, you're doing like flips, like that shit's getting ripped.
$20, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more, and people buy them because, again, you know, they've been playing free to play and they're like, okay, well, I haven't spent money on the game, so I might as well spend one on like a skin or something. And also the skins just look really nice. So again,
yeah, I've said, give me premium skins. I'll buy skins. I'd like the full-on top-tier premium ones, maybe for the 5-star characters to start off with. Maybe even bring these into the 4 stars, I guess. We'll see. 5-star character, premium skin, comes with a weapon skin, comes with VFX change, you know, I don't know, let's just say, for example, Jian, different outfit, but like it's a full-on skin, not just colour swap. His dragon's a different colour, that sort of stuff, new weapon. And then like have a potentially like maybe like little tweaks where it's just like an outfit switch, buckles changed on an outfit, you know, like instead of having 2 sleeves, they've got 1 sleeve, something's a little bit different. You can unlock those free. And then like maybe 4-star skins that go into the podcast at the end of the podcast. There's a move the weapons a few slots earlier. And then the final level of the podcast is like a 4-star skin. You know, maybe some weapon skins in the podcast as well. They could even have things like the hover droid skins, freaking glider skins as well. I think those all sort of things could be thrown into the podcast, if I'm honest. And it have purchasable ones. I just feel like it'd generate a recurring income for them. I feel like a lot more people would probably be likely to buy the podcast if they knew they could get like a skin at the end of it and maybe a weapon skin and potentially like a hover droid skin or something like that, or a glider skin. Because I'll buy the podcast anyway, but I'd make sure I bought it and I'd make sure I'd clear it as well. if those sort of things were in the podcast.
Wuthering Waves could do something similar, where they could kind of get a skin, where they could kind of sell a lot of these skins, and people would actually buy them. I definitely think there'll be many dedicated people, especially to certain characters, that are going to buy.
I think skins in Wuthering Waves will do really well, because that's one thing that they're really knocking out the park, aren't they, on character models and the fidelity of the characters. So skins are going to look great on Wuthering Wave characters.
Every single skin for them. And then finally, speaking about other games and stuff like that, we also got an announcement for Punishing Grey Raven actually collabing with Devil May Cry 5.
Now, has a target
this might
tattoo
not seem very big as a Wuthering
me.
Waves fan, but I definitely think it is huge in terms of Kuro games and what they can bring in the future, as Punishing Grey Raven is one of the other gacha games that, you know, Kuro Games have bought out. So this kind of hints that they do have these kind of contacts with some of these big games and some of these big kind of brands. One of them being Devil May Cry, which is a very popular video game series. And we're going to be seeing some sort of collaboration coming out in the future. Now, I don't know if that's going to be part of a game or whatever. They just kind of announced that the collaboration was happening. But it is also pretty big for Wuthering Waves as well, because it means that, you know, they do have the ability to work with these big companies that could also come into Wuthering Waves, which, if you've seen by revenue standards and by popularity, they're doing much better than Punishing Grey Raven. Now, obviously, Punishing Grey Raven is still a great game, and it's been out for a while, so it's much more established. And I totally see why they've chose Devil May Cry for Punishing Grey Raven, because it definitely fits the style a ton more. But in the future, hopefully we can see some other video games, or maybe anime, or maybe some other kind of really cool stuff in the overall kind of media sphere, kind of interacting with Wuthering Waves and bringing their stuff over to the game. Now, I think it would be cool to have it in kind of like a form of event. I don't think anything permanent should be added, like a character. I definitely think it would take out from some of the actual lore of the story and just the overall scenery that, you know, Kuro Games has set out. But I think if we do a cool, like, quick event, or maybe even a couple skins or something like that, similar to whatever game it is collaborating with or whatever anime it's collaborating with, it would be really cool to see that.
I don't know if it would necessarily have to affect the lore, because like I was saying before about the whole Scar situation, if you could have unnatural resonators that could almost be created off the resonance of other previous resonators, maybe you could kind of have them like that kind of thing that could play that role, you know, that they've got the name, it's Virgil, it's whatever, and we reference the world that it comes from within the event, but in the game it's just a character in the game kind of thing.
Yeah, so hopefully we do hear some news on maybe something to do with Wuthering Waves,
and you can have the character in the game anyway. You could just have a companion quest or an event that references what the game is, and then outside that, they're just in the game. Kind of like, look at Yuanwu and Danjin and Calcharo. They could easily be a character from another IP, because who the fuck are they, other than the little bit of lore that we've got next to the character in the menu? You know what I mean? It really doesn't have to affect the lore, if I'm honest.
In the future, but it is really good that Punishing Grey Raven is getting their collaboration, and hopefully we can see, you know, more news on that very, very soon. But yeah, that is every single collaboration that's come to Wuthering Waves at the moment. Obviously, if you want to look at the other ones, that'll be on my previous video that I talked about collaborations. But yeah, there is a ton there, and a lot of them are to do with outfits and skins and
like
stuff,
artificial
which, again,
resonate,
I think a lot of people would really like to see in the game. So Kuro Games, if you're listening, please add these to the game. We're all asking you to. And yeah, overall, really
hot take. Don't listen to the community on that, Kuro. I think a lot of people are just seeing these skins in these artworks, and because they haven't got it, they're like, that's what I want. Where maybe throw those in later, maybe potentially, but concentrate on making some proper skins that fit the world and are actually cool, you know what I mean? And are a little bit more premium, if you will. I'll say that. Ignore the community on that one.
Pretty cool. But yeah, let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Which one is your favorite event, and you know, what kind you wait to see in the game, if it is even coming to the game. And yeah, just let me know what you guys think. But yeah, that's about all I got for this video. If you did enjoy it, then don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And as I said, also go over to my Twitch where I'm going to be streaming live. That'll be down in the pinned comment down below or the description below. And also finally check out game.
Yeah, like I say, Kazas tends to be positive, really. He is a glazer though. But yeah, apart from the Devil May Cry thing, I think that's the only thing that, like, it doesn't necessarily affect Wuthering Waves, but it gives an idea of, okay, Kuro are not messing around. But they've done it before, haven't they, with, was it Nia? They did a collaboration with Nia, didn't they? Am I right? I'm tripping, yeah. Right, yeah. I'm right, yeah. But anyway, it just shows that they're capable of doing that. You know, they've got the ability to make connections with other companies, so hopefully that means that potentially we're going to see something like that coming to Wuthering Waves at some point. All the other stuff, though, it's just marketing at the end of the day, isn't it? You know what I mean? Which is good for the company, but unless it reflects in bringing something to the game or brings money to the game doesn't really bother us that much. Yeah, first collab was with Nia. Yeah. Right, okay. All right, let's jump on a bit of a PGR then, guys. Jump on a bit of PGR. B2 is the stuff for wet dream. I've never played Nia. I think I've got it, but I've never played it. Yeah, I agree with that. It's probably a good idea to get a year out. I guess that the companies themselves won't care though, but in terms of financial output, because it's going to cost money, isn't it, to get the licenses and stuff like that. This is why I say if the first collaboration for Wuthering Waves should be punishing Grey Raven, because they haven't got to worry about getting licensing, have they, and working in all of that and spending money in that regard. They just go, look, right, we're going to bring characters from our other game into this game, and boom, simple. They create the move sets, boom, you're good to go. And I feel like it'd advertise PGR really well. It'd probably bring a lot of the people who play PGR over to Wuthering Waves because they're like, I want to play that character in this game and vice versa. I think it'd be good all around. 3 hours streaming into game, right? And do you know what's the worst thing? I'm a bad streamer. We got like an hour max. But I will be streaming again this evening. Bad streamer. Bad. You suck. That Bianca skin is fire though. I must admit. Dude, I forgot. Okay, so we know he's there. Shit. Is the stream okay? YouTube's telling me my YouTube's telling me my stream's dropped. Can you still shimmy? Am I still here? Someone, what's it? Alright, whatever. Let me know if I'm not. Well, you won't be able to let me know, but you can let me know if I am, I guess. Hey, we're too good for this. That's what it is. We're too good. Shit, I'm trash. Wait a minute. Yeah. Oh, right. Too good, chat. We're too good. Built for that, you know. That's what we do. Let's get me free stuff, I guess. We're just going to continue on a little bit with the story, actually. We need to do some memory farming as well, some other characters, but I ain't going to worry about that right now. I want to get on with the story a little bit. You can't even get BRS SS3 or a signature weapon. Why? What are you doing? What's this one? Let me check C in there actually, because I don't know if I've got the roster. I don't know if I got the peeps for this. Shit, he's in team. Yeah, we ain't even got the peeps. I ran out of peeps already. All right, that one's not good. Have we got another medical one that we can use? Maybe we shouldn't have done the A, maybe. I have to put another memory in, don't I? Okay. Yeah, okay. Alright, let's hop into some more story then. We need to go pat him on the head. Go back, Crimson on the head, shall I? This feels wrong. We can do some more of this another time. Let's get into this. Let's carry on with the story. Let's carry on with the story. Let's go. I'm like 800 BP behind now. I stopped doing all the stuff related to the dorms. Yeah, I can understand that. It's I'm not that interested in it myself, if I'm honest. This looks like the ruins of some form of civilization. Please proceed carefully. The digging devices are quite high-powered and might cause mini tremors. There are some ruins up ahead. We'll have to pass through it. The target's deep inside somewhere. So we're chasing after Kamui at the minute, yeah, because he's gone a bit batshit crazy. Because he's infected, but he's not been taken control of, hasn't he? BP doesn't matter if you're good enough. Well, I'm fucked then. If we engage with any corrupted, Bianca and I will be the ones to deal with them. The weathered structure of the ruins might not hold for our entire squad. I know what to do. You don't need to remind me. She didn't mean it that way, Karen. I don't know you that well for you to call me that. Everyone, something's coming near. Corrupted, more than one. It missed. No, its target isn't us. The ceiling is collapsing, Commandant. Watch out. It's trying to bury us alive. Nah, that ain't wrong, Neo. Is your new mouse due today? They're going to bring the whole place down. Stop them. You're gonna love the power sands. That power sands is awesome. What's his cool passive as well, man? When I'll live, it's any 3 ping and then a red ping, yeah. Dude died from awesome presence. And then he joins Alpha's key. It's wild, yeah. It's like, it's anime peak. That's what I like about this game. It just feels anime, you know what I mean? If that makes sense. I know it makes sense. It just like, the combat's just like, so like, okay, alright, this is what we're doing here. I'm here for it. I love my Naga Trinity, but the buttons are too long and I have to change my grip when using the ability. Yeah, I can't play that. I've got a Naga over here, actually. Let me see. Get it in. I can't get it in. I use it for like MMOs, but I prefer using my Viper for anything else. Yeah, I quite like Nanami as well. The target has a highly robust defensive structure. We cannot destroy it in a short amount of time. We can't let it go on. The ruins aren't going to hold. Everybody, stay back. Let's return to the safe zone near the entrance. Commandant, over here. I'm a Liv enjoyer as well. I love Liv. Liv's the goat. The entrance is completely blocked. The ruins here are convoluted. Plus a large amount of corrupted are wandering around. We should consider other plans to advance. This game is really like robot zombies, isn't it, really? So as to avoid the situation just now, if the commandant was drawn in by that, I'll be careful. It's all your fault. If it weren't for you, we would have finished the mission already. Karenina. No, I need to get this out. If they weren't being slowpokes, we wouldn't have been sealed off. And it's not like the Grey Ravens would get into any trouble even if our mission failed. Okay, I'm done venting. I'm terribly sorry. I'm already trying to find a new path forward through the complicated ruin structure. I know I'll find it soon. Liv, you shouldn't be too harsh on yourself. The corrupted in the ruins won't be going anywhere. No, it's not that, Lee. Bianca, is Kamui still moving? No, he's stopped. He's found his target. From our current available information, likely. Liv, how much longer do you need? I'm still analysing the data. I just need 1 more minute. I'll map the best route ahead. Thank you. If you'd like to try your best to make up for it then, I'll just sit here and wait. Just 1 minute, alright? Devs also love Liv, give her 4 frames. The utility bound to the front side button to dash, dodge bound to rear side. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got mine to shift. And I think I've got bound on my mouse on WuWa. I've got grappling set to a mouse 4 button. I use a controller and waiting for my Amazon refund so I can buy a better controller. Yeah, like, I'm somebody who grew up playing consoles, but ever since I switched to PC a couple of years ago, I don't have fun using a pad that much anymore. Like, I'm having to use a pad for Aether Gazer at the moment because the PC client decided to make it so you have to hold left click to look, and it just sucks. And basic attack can only be bound to right click on the mouse. So I'm having to use a pad on that, but it's not optimal for me personally. Right? I used to be a pad, like, mainer back in the day. I couldn't use mouse and keyboard. Karina lowers herself and sits on a nearby rock. Bianca does too and sits by her side. The rippling sand swims through the air, further lowering the visibility of the ruins. Broken arrows and tools with a metallic sheen lap haphazardly above the dunes as if hurriedly abandoned by someone. Even without a corrupted in sight, it was not silence and relief that befell, but instead a blare of the digging devices. Liv carefully navigates past the high disruption machines and continues the scanning and the processing of the environment. Got it. Guess you guys aren't all talk. Tell me your plan. The ruins here are all structurally connected, but due to the drilling device, many areas have already collapsed and are inaccessible. In turn, however, we can take advantage of how the drill operates and follow the underground route it created through the hole on the surface, circling back near to where we were. That sounds dangerous. This is going to cost us more time. Will there be any risk? I guess so. Since none of the ruins are secured, all we can do is try our best to avoid areas that have collapsed or are heavily weathered to minimise the risks. I'll be fine, don't worry. Let's go. Kamui's coordinates are moving again. Yeah, that FPS mode looks dope, yeah.
この戦い、私を楽しませてほしいものね。みんなを守る。
降参しないのか。お前らすべて粉々にしてやるぜ。
Begin to lock on. I like Kamui as well, actually. The path splits up, there's no time. Commandant can decide. I don't know why I said it like that. Like the path. Oh shit, wait. What, that way or that way? Oh wait. Do we get to choose? Oh. Let's go.
風より解かれる力。我が刃と勝て。手加減はしない。聖書を尽くす。歯応えないわ。
Wipeout!
次に向かうわよ。
Dude, Crimson Weaving Wuthering Waves.
終幕ではないわ。
Chef's kiss, bro. The chef's kiss. You all found some new friends while Nanami went for a walk. His voice. Who's there? Yoo-hoo, we meet again. Nanami loves to talk in third person, doesn't she? Who's this girl? We got a little Nanami Easter egg as well, didn't we? And we were. Your weapon looks so explosive. Nanami's interested and wants to take a gander at it. You came out unscathed from the middle of that explosion. Nanami's very scathed, thank you very much. See, my dress is torn and it took me so long to fix it. How did you... This is a construct you encountered within the factory? Oof. So very chilly. I can feel the magnetic fields of a woman in her winters. Nanami's about to be all frozen up. She's just as weird as the rumors say. The one who blew up the factory will have too much time. Oh, it's not that big of a deal. It's not a compliment. Anyway, Nanami, why are you here? I don't know. After the factory went all boom boom, Nanami just wandered around and just happened to be here. And then you all look like you need the help of a genius. So what do you say? Let me help? Let me help? You know, Nanami's cut for the job. Nanami doing it with style. I'll take Bianca as well. Yeah, I'll take Bianca as well. I think, obviously, I don't know all the characters in the game. I think if I had to at the minute, I think I'd take Crimson Weave. I think I'd take a version of Liv. And maybe Bianca Stigmata. I think those are the three that I'd kind of like to see. I might like Lee either, actually, as like a pistol user. Alright, 2 seconds, chat. I'll be back in a second. Yo, guys, if you're watching on YouTube as well, drop a like on the stream. It's appreciated. It looks like Ruben Amorim signed for Man United then as a new manager. I can't get excited because club's just trash at the minute. But like, he's an exciting manager though. We're wasting time. Liv, where do we walk next? We returned to somewhere near the ruins when we first engaged in the corrupted. With the corrupted. Now we'll just have to follow Kamui's signal through the excavated paths. Looks like the corrupted that attacked us left already. How can you leave Nanami out of this? Nanami helped you so much last time. You ungrateful, heartless people. What colour is your blood? Nanami's so hurt, she's gonna cry now, any second. Is this the correct path? Bianca's completely unbothered by Nanami. She really knows how to handle her. Just keep calm and walk at your own pace. Oh wow. Withering obeisance and the blossoming youth don't mix. Nanami can't handle it. Her vitality is dying. Is she calling her... She's saying that to Bianca. Nanami too. She's keeping her own pace as well. You two know each other? No, not really. She appeared out of nowhere on a mission of ours and disrupted us a few times. Wait. What did Nanami hear? Nanami's floating around in ecstasy. No, don't stop me. Dude, she's trippy, isn't she? I have no time for football pigs, but for the sake of your mental health, I think it's... I hope so. I hope so. Like, I've been through pain this last 12 months in my football club, I'm telling you. And as growing up on like just being the best, it's not nice. You were all worried, but I guess when the good times come again, hopefully, hopefully, it'll be all the sweeter. You were all worrying about Nanami, and even said you would give Nanami a good time by letting her join you in your mission. Nanami is so touched. She's fully revived now, and Nanami will definitely help you. Nobody said anything remotely resembling that. Let's go. Let's go. Time's ticking. If you need to find a missing person, Nanami's your detective. Yeah, look, it looks really cool. That first Resident Evil. Oh yeah, I forgot as well. I got the cub in the game now, yeah. Oh, I need to talk to them now. Hey, I know that a lot of people like PGI here, and I do too. You know, if like Kuro announced like next year or something that we're working on like a spiritual successor to PGR, would you be hyped? Because like, I like this game a lot, I really do. But like, there's part of me that's like, man, I'd like to see a more modern version in regards to like, you know, obviously with the quality upped in you know, in like environments and all that sort of stuff. But like with the baseline of how the combat works in this game and just like building up on that, I think that'd be fucking dope. So many corrupted, but y'all can't stop Nanami. Commandant Rahachi is over there. I'm taking a lot of hits then. Well, that's a 6 slow-mo. Oh yeah, I'll be down for that. I'll be down for a manga or a comic. Yeah, definitely. They aren't ending these anytime soon. Oh yeah, I can't imagine they will, but I just think it'd be kind of cool to get something in this vein, just to like, you know, modern tech kind of thing. You know what I mean? They're already working on a turn-based game. Oh really? Are they? I heard as well that, you know, because there was that talk about, what was it, projects? Oh shit, what was it called? I forgot what it was called now. Like, some people were assuming that it was going to be like a kind of a Gravity Rush kind of open world game, but I was like, would they really go down the open world route again, considering they've got another open world game? Rahachi? That's a survey type robot made for ruins. He's Rahachi, Nanami's pal. Nanami, I did not find the mural. You haven't? Well, Nanami will help you find it in a while then. They are good friends of Nanami too. Nanami friend of friend is friends. Hello, I am 968. I find murals, awaken murals for Nanami. Right, Rahachi, is it Rahachi? Did you see someone like them pass by? Yes, many, going deep down. Looks like Kamui is indeed deep within the ruins. Yeah, because end of the day, I'll try anything now because I do like turn-based stuff, but I feel like it's... Combat is where Kuro shine. They know combat, don't they? Alright, no worries, Neo. I'll catch you later, buddy. Enjoy your nap. This machine, it's quite similar to the situation we encountered before. I think we should investigate. I agree, the awakening of this machine series is an unforeseen phenomenon. Hey, don't bully my Rahachi. Bully, dislike, friends don't bully. Connecting Liv with it would avoid any damage to its frame, and from what we've seen, this is something worth investigating. I'm personally interested as well. If needed, I'll try copying any memory data from Rahachi's frame. This won't take long. Do it, but be careful not to hurt Rahachi. Understood, Commandant. Connect, dislike, connection, unhappy. Nanami, Rahachi doesn't like it, you jerks. Stop copying it. Nanami, companions near. They me sharing information. These old models usually share the same information structure network. If there are other same models here, then they would know our location. Those Rahachi lookalikes only talk in arrows and spears. Commandant, here are several corrupted nearing. Liv, I'll handle it after this. I brought with me one of those devices in the temple before. If we could become surrounded by more enemies, we won't even be in the position of chasing after Kamui. No, we can't waste any more time. Commandant, please decide. I don't wanna. Who's this?
この戦い、私を楽しませてほしいものね。
I'd mark the optimal sites to place the disruptor. No, there's no time. We need to get out of here before we're completely surrounded. Oh shit. I wasn't supposed to do that, was I? I didn't think.
我が刃と化せ。歯ごたえないわ。
I messed up, yeah. Was I supposed to plant that thing down and... I've got to keep all the enemies now, anyway. I'll do the location.
手加減
全部出題でいいか。闇がまとわりついてきても俺は光に向かって歩くから。このくらいの傷大したことじゃない。いいか、勝利はお前ら全て粉々にしてやるぜ。
Get out of it!
全勝だな。指揮官どうだ俺の活躍。
I like Kamui as well. He's enjoyable to play with as well. That sound kind of sus. They companions, but hit me. We dug treasure together once. Treasure? Is that the mural you wanted to show me? Is he on about the other robots? Yeah. No mural is Sage Machina. Awakened treasure is gold, unsure. Wait, Karenina's gone. Girl made of hot stuff. She went back in the middle. You should have told me earlier. Well, you didn't ask. What's Karen planning to do? I'm not sure, but from what she's like, she might be planning something brash. I need to find her. Maybe she's going to go and try and deal with Kamui on her own. The digging device is nearing us. If it continues, the ruins here won't hold. If it's all broken machine parts and traces of heavy fire, looks like Karen was here. The ruins are full of wandering corrupted along with the unstable structural integrity. There is no merit for running solo. Advancing alone is too dangerous. Sorry, but I think I know what she's trying to do now. She's going after Kamui on her own, thought so. Liv, analyze the data immediately. Ah, got it. Yeah, man, big fan of Liv.
この戦い、私を楽しませてほしいものね。
I really like Nanami as well, though, actually.
風より解かれる力、我が刃と化せ。
闇がまとわりついてきた。俺は光に向かって歩くから。お前らすべて粉々にしてやるぜ。いいか、勝利は俺たちのものだ。逆境解決。
I remember to keep locking on. I keep forgetting to lock on, man, and then I'm flying off the outside of the map trying to attack nothing. No, it's a signal transmitter. Trap? No doubt we have been exposed. Stay sharp and hurry. You know when you go into that, like, perfect dodge mode, do you get any sort of buff to your attacks? Yeah, dude, Crimson Weave's just insane, man. She's so much fun to use. Like, I have no idea how optimal I'm playing, like, you know what I mean? But she's fire, she's fun. Traces of battles have extended all this way. That's the other side of the fork in the road we passed. Look at the walls. There are fresh marks apart from bullet holes and signs of explosives. There's slashes from a blade. It seems that Kamui was also heading in this direction. Nanami hasn't followed us. She said she needed to help Rahachi search for a mural, so she wasn't coming with us this time. That way, she could also help us divert some of the corrupted. That was fun, but not your favourite. Who's your favourite to play with, then? I must admit, when I gave Bianca Stigmata a try as well, I quite liked how she played. I feel like she's quite good for me at the minute. She's quite simple, isn't she, as well? Few seconds shot. Oh yeah, guys, as well, quick plug again. I've got to do it, you know. I did upload a video earlier if you want to check it out. The official tease of Rinasita. She said she needed to help Rahachi search for a mural, so she wasn't coming with this time. That way she could also help us divert some of the corrupted. A surprisingly sounded plan. Time is short. Everyone, I'll be heading out first. I kind of like Lee as well, actually. Hold on, Bianca. It's not a good idea to journey alone. Which is why I have to go first. The Purifying Force excels at pursuits. I'll save much more time travelling by myself. No one can guarantee how stable Kamui is at this point. If he is indeed down this path, I cannot let Karen take him on alone. Stay safe. We'll catch up as quickly as possible. Yeah, who would you say is your favourite character? Kind of reminds me a little of a character out of Aether Gazer, number 21, Feral. Is this a good character to pull on? Bianca all frames, yes. The Stigmata one. I've only had to play with that one. She's dope. Liv Empria, Alyssa Echo. Also, save your blue tickets for next anniversaries. Don't roll all the way to 60 pools because they're going to reset the blue S rank. Oh, okay. So is that on the... I'm still getting my head around the balance on this game, if I'm honest. Is that around these ones, yeah? Is he? Is that the one you're on about? The base. Yeah, because I haven't really done much pulling in the game, if I'm honest. So I still haven't got my head around the systems in this game. You should use those blue tickets on the A ranks you want to build. In 2 patches, Teddy's the new dark A rank will be up, so save the blue tickets to get one free copy of her. Okay. Alright, okay. I'll be good. I'll hold off on my impulse control. I'll try anyway. We've got to log in. I need to consume some serum as well, don't I? Need to do that as well, actually. Alright, let's get back in here. Continue on a little bit with the story now. We need to crack on a little bit. Okay, alright. Best chance for best choice for yeah, I've found that out. She's better than Viral, so she's better than Luna. Right, requesting permission. I require the coordinates of Karinia, a slash of such strength. If necessary, I'll have to execute extermination orders. Out of my way. Karenina, don't be rash. 4 ping. Quiver of Mercy. Any 3 ping plus tap signature. Oh, I see that. Literally, as he died, I popped him. A little bit more of an opening. I kind of like her, actually. Big fan of bow uses in games, if I'm honest. Ooh, actually, yo, I kind of like her. Guess I'm going this way. Am I? No, am I going that way? What was the target location? This, okay.
いい戦いでしたね。
Zero's get you super basic and super brain dead. And my Zero SSS Plus. I need to fix resonance and hypertuner. It was going one sheet. Hi, I'm really late. I was getting too much YT notifications playing PGR, so I turned that off and saw you've started streaming here to say hi and bye because it's too late. Time to sleep. No worries, one sheet. Hi and bye, and have a good sleep as well. I appreciate you stopping by to say hello, though. Hopefully you've had a good day. I need you back. Gun smoke fills the air beneath the sand. Oi, what's happening? Body feels empty. Can't. Right. Bianca came on my own to save Bianca from discipline. Then I met that Kamui. He already looks taken. So tired. So dark. Grandpa? Grandpa, I miss you. Can I come to see you? Wake up, Karenina. It's me, Bianca. The sounds, it's from over there. Finally caught up. What happened, Bianca? If she continues her wrecking, we'll all be buried by the collapsing ruins. We need to find a way to stop her first, then check her condition. What do I mean? It's funny looking older PGR characters saying, damn, this is what we used to play. I was going to say that a lot of people have said that, like, you know, and I've seen it as well from some of the newer characters. They definitely seem to have stepped up the game on the models and stuff. Is it because of Kamui? Shoot first and ask questions later. Who wants some? Who wants some? Who wants some? Yeah? Oh shit, okay, alright. Oh, okay, alright. Karenina? Getting his ass beat for a second there then. That's what I say, like, again, you know, like, even down to things like that, although, don't get me wrong, Wuthering Waves is a beautiful game. Those sort of things, like you guys are talking about, the improvements across multiple different areas in this game and where it's at and stuff they've done, makes me really confident for Wuthering Waves. And hopeful as well, you know. Hopefully we get all those sort of things added to the game and improvements and such. Boiling consciousness. Liv, check on Karen. Because we don't have access, authority to her mind, we'll have to brute force it. This is just giving a slap, pour some water over her. A form of energy is trying to invade Karen's mind. Energy? I currently cannot discern its constituents, but this energy is overloading her mind and causing it to overheat. If this goes on, Karen might immediately call Salika for help. Yes, Commandant, but Karen's situation requires immediate attention as well. What do we do? What do we need to do? Like I said, I cannot discern the properties of that energy, but at very least her mind must be cooled off first. We need to help Karen's frame sleep to temporarily pause her mind, then wait for support or help. But the issue is that even though I've been externally sending in sleep commands, the energy is disrupting its execution. I love this piece of music. Is there no other way? There is, but it's a risky choice. The situation is dire. Even if it has high risk, we have no choice. Liv, can you explain? Right, we can force a sleep command from inside Karina's mind by connecting with it. Specifically, by using my operation system as a bridge to connect Karina and someone else's mind. We can let two consciousness briefly connect. I'm struggling here. That way, the other person can enter Karina's mind and assist in forcing a sleep command. I've got the hiccups as well. Sort of like injecting immunocytes into her body. Yes, Lee's metaphor is quite apt, but at the same time, this requires the linking of two minds, so there will be a high chance of coming into contact with that unknown energy. I'm sorry, but I have no suitable countermeasures at the moment. No, you've already done well, Liv. I'll take that risk for Karen. No, I should do it. currently will have to stay here for an unknown period of time. The corrupted might attack, and whether it be defending or attacking, long-range support will be better than melee for holding our position. And we have the guidance of Commandant's Mind Beacon. That should lower the risk. Okay, but be careful. I'll leave Karina in your hands. Lee, help Bianca protect the Commandant and live. Of course. Commandant. He's Commandant, is he? I always say Commandant. He's Commandant. Find Commandant's Mind Beacon before mind overheats. Overheating in mind is a manifestation of obsession in the construct's memories. Eliminate corrupted, eliminate punishing virus. I got a passive's name actually. 4 ping, any 3 ping in a red orb. Okay. First form red orb is pinged within 4 seconds. Any 3 ping replacing basic attacks with dual blades. Okay. In her mind. Didn't complete. Auto jump into the position of next mind beacon. Oh. Thought I was auto jumping. Seems like a manual jump if you ask me. Oh, I should have waited for that free ping, man. Oh, why see? No! It looked cool though. We look good while doing it. We wasted it, but we look good while we did that. My beacon sync complete. Is that a frog plushie? Oh shit. I dodged. Get out of here, pussy! Do you think this is some kind of game? Mind stabilizing, Commandant. Lucia succeeded. We should get going. The number of corrupted nearby is increasing. This figure isn't normal. Lucia, you need to rest. It's alright, Commandant. I can still fight. They're forming an encirclement. This way. I'll pave a path. Yeah, that piece of music. Wow, beautiful. Lovely. Lovely. You know what though, guys? I am going to have to call the stream there. I know. I got a little bit carried away with the reactions and just hanging out with you guys today. So we went a little bit longer on that sort of stuff than I meant to. But I've got to go and get my missus from work in a minute. So I'm going to have to call it. I want to say thank you to everybody coming through today, though. We are going to try and get on again this evening, though, once I've had tea. I need to try and sort out the car insurance, so I'll see if I can maybe put that off tomorrow. See what Rosa says anyway. And we'll double dip. And if we double dip, we might play a bit of this and maybe some Zenless Zone Zero. Not 100 yet, but we'll see. But if not, we'll play some more tomorrow. I was supposed to jump on Nikkei, but as soon as I start playing this game, I'm like, it reminds me how much fun this game is, and I want to play more. So I do want to start getting into this game and like getting through a bunch of the content, familiarizing myself with everything, getting used to it all, catching up. We've got a bunch of stuff, getting to end game, going through all that sort of stuff, and you know, just experiencing the game for what it is actually. So yeah, guys, thank you for coming through today. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't already as well, guys, drop a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new. If you're watching on Twitch, follow. Guys, as well, I have uploaded a video today. Check it out. Let me know what you think. Drop a like, comment. It's all appreciated. And I'll be back a little bit later. If I don't see you later, I'll see you tomorrow. New video, new stream. We'll be back at it again. Appreciate ya. Enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe. All that good stuff, guys. I'll see you later. All right. Get on.